O Show. This is the Big 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 O Show.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Miles an hour, that's a Category 4 hurricane. 3 deaths are reported in Florida after more than 24 were killed in the Caribbean. This
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 16 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Take up to $10,000 off a 2024 Acura during our 16th anniversary sale.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Walton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Walton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Walton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Walton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
There's a new sheriff in town at Toyota of Hollywood. Cash in your chips and get a great deal on over 2,000 Toyotas, like a Corolla, not $24,000, $17,975. Giddy up to the bank and get 2.99% financing on our most popular models. So mosey on down to our western town at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
The viewpoints, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty, welcome aboard. Yes, sir. All right, I just, Sean starts the open, and all of a sudden I realize I have my water bottle here. So I had to run to go get the water bottle right before I got on. I'm like, no, man, I got to have my water. Got to have my water. Got to have the water. Need the water. Anyway, welcome aboard. We need some W's, too, on the ice. That's what we need. Because the Panthers, woo, that was a rough one the last couple of games. Dropping the last two in overtime. I mean, listen, they have outplayed them. They have outplayed the Rangers, but you got to finish it. You got to score. And so they're clearly the better team, but right now the better team's not winning the series. So must win tonight. We'll get into that throughout the show. Ira Winderman will join us at 10:30. We will have Manny Navarro around 11:15. We're going to have David Furones today, but we're going to push it back for tomorrow because today starts OTAs. So why am I going to bring him on to talk about what? There's nothing to talk about. Okay, so at least he'll have, practice today. Whatever. And then we'll talk about whatever he saw today. You know what I mean? It's OTAs, man. I'm sorry. I'm just not here to get excited or get disappointed or get freaked out about something on OTAs. I mean, we're just not doing that. If there's some news, we'll address it. You know what I'm saying? So we'll do that. But if there's no news, we're not going to force the issue and start talking about stuff that really there's no reason to talk about it and try to get you guys worked up for nothing.
We definitely don't do that. We took it off yesterday. Normally I would have worked yesterday, but I actually have a little bit of a sore throat, and I had it last week. Started like on Thursday, and so it was kind of flaring up. And I figured I'd take an extra day for the rest to give the throat a little bit of rest. It's still sore, but at least it's better than where it was on Thursday and Friday. And so I decided to kind of take the day off yesterday, and there's not really a ton of stuff to talk about. So I apologize that we took the day off yesterday, but my throat actually needed it, and that's the reason why I took it off. Not because it was Memorial Day, and obviously we honor those who have given the ultimate sacrifice for the the pleasures that we have every single day, but it was just also that I was not in the best shape throat wise. So I said, you know what, let me give it a little bit of a rest. And that's exactly what we did. I hope you all had a great weekend. I hope you all, did not have to deal with any of the ugly weather. I know some of our friends in the Midwest, some of our friends in the East Coast have not gone through a easy time. I know those of you down in this part of this, area, in the Florida area, you didn't really go through that kind of bad weather. But man, our friends in the Midwest, holy moly, man, prayers, man. That gas station, that scene, about 200 people in that gas station, and they're going there for shelter, and that's exactly where the tornado hits. How no one died is just a miracle, actually. But yeah, just some wicked weather the last few days. So definitely prayers to our friends all throughout the middle part of our country that have really gone through a rough time. So we got a bunch of stuff to talk about in all kinds of directions, some sports, some crypto. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff going on the crypto side. Jasmine almost hit 3 cents on Sunday night, right? It was Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. It was powering up. Now it's somewhere around about 2.7, I think it is, something like that, somewhere 2.65 or something. So it's right up there. Nope, 2.55 right now. It's really, we gave it to you all the way down at 1/3 of a cent. So right now we're like at 5x. I don't expect most of you to be at 5x, but some of you might be 2 or 3x easily. So it's nice to see Jasmine making a run. We'll see if Ethereum starts to bounce back. It's at 38.47. It got to like 39.60, 70. And it was pushing for 4,000, but did not make it. It's going to get pushed. Today in London, the ETPs start for Bitcoin. So that starts there in London. So that's good stuff. So we've got London, we've got Hong Kong, Australia will get online soon. And then obviously you've got everything going on here in the United States. Mount Gox, who's kind of was a big Bitcoin place. What's it called? Exchange. Well, now they have transferred 9 billion Bitcoin yesterday. No banks involved. So now the question is now they're going to disperse that 142,000 Bitcoin. And the question is, will anyone that's part of this end up selling? And will that cause some kind of price action? I am not really concerned one way or the other. I'm sure some people will sell because some people might need the money, and God bless them. If they got a lot of money sitting there and they got to sell it, it could be you, it could be me, it could be any of us that we're in a tight situation. We have to sell. It's all understandable. Some may hold. And since we are in in the early stages of the bull run, selling now would be ridiculous if, what's another year on top of 10, 12 years, so they would probably hold through, the bull run before they would sell. obviously. So, it's it's one of those things. So we'll see what happens. But if some do sell and there's some price action to that, to me, that's just another opportunity, because we're in such a look. I'm not a financial advisor. Don't ever look at me like that. I don't believe these numbers will ever be seen again. 60, 70, 50, forget about 40, 30. Forget about that. Like, once this thing pops, we will never come back to these numbers ever again. I truly believe that. That when there's a dip, the next time, once we peak, which is at 100, 200, 300 and something in this bull run, whenever it does have its consolidation, it'll never approach 70 again. So for me, this is, you're in the 60s. You're at 67 something right now, I believe. Before I got on, I think I looked at it and we were like at 67 something. 67,692. To me, these are all incredible buying zones. That's the way I look at it. Just if you can put $5 now or $50, or God bless you people out there that can buy 500 or 1,000 or 5,000, go for it. That's what I would do. I would just keep gobbling it up. A friend of mine manages his mom's money. It's a funny conversation. So she's too old, right? And she has this account that has like $18,000 in it, I believe it is. Was it 18? Well, it doesn't really matter. Whatever the numbers really, but it's somewhere in that area. And so she had like this kind of a company type of thing account, but the problem is the company was sold. Boom, boom, it's done. So she doesn't have the freedom she had, that it was tied to that company, where they weren't charging her for the money holding it, which is pretty amazing, because it was part of where she retired from and all that kind of stuff. It was, I don't know, dude. I don't know the whole thing. But anyway, apparently they're breaking free from all of this. So everybody that has their money has to now have their own account. So now they're going to start charging monthly. She hasn't touched the money in years. She hasn't touched the money. She just leaves it there. So now they're going to start charging monthly. I think it's $20. I think it is $19 or something to hold the money. And so I go, so he goes, so she's done nothing with this money and you guys are going to charge her to hold the money. And I go, bro, that's what they have to do. They have to, and I go to him, you know what you should do, right? You should go talk to her and tell her to move it all into Bitcoin, because you're about to go on a bull run and you're going to turn that money into double of that money. The 18 will turn into 36 shortly, because Bitcoin's just under 70. It'll easily go to 150 before you know it. So she'll double her money. Not that she even gives a shit about it, because she's old at this point. And he goes, oh, there's no way I could ever mention this to her. It's too confusing, whatever, this, that. And I looked at that and I was like, wow, that is a gift. A gift. You know what I mean? I think he's taking it out and putting it in some money market or something like that, or so at least earn some kind of little interest or whatever. But yeah, it's because he could have. Can you imagine that? That's a gift. Just put it, like I tell you guys all the time, don't have a savings account. You have money sitting in the bank, make it a Bitcoin account. At least it'll grow that way. What a shame. And like that, there's a lot of people that are going to miss out on all of this. So, but we'll see what happens with Mt. Gox. But the way I would tell you is, either way, if the people that do get back their Bitcoin, if some sell and it draws price action, because obviously it's $9 billion of Bitcoin, it could move the market. And if it moves it a little down, to me, that's just another opportunity for you all to continue to collect This is what you have to do right now. When it blows up to 150 and 200 and 400,000 and a million, that's when everybody else will regret. And you're the one that's going to sit there going, I bought. I knew. I stuck to my guns. I bought and I won. And you're the one that's going to come out on top. The other people are going to just have regrets. And that's what's going to happen with all of this. So either way, it's a good thing. What else do we have? We can, touch upon other things along the way as the show goes on. Let's see. Ocala Joe, I see, is number one. Although, wait a minute. I think it's a little different here, right? Yeah, Steven Gonzalez. I get it because it was drifting for a couple of days. I see. There we go. Ocala Joe up in St. Augustine. Thank you, sir. By the way, Ho Yoon, thank you. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. You can also make a Bitcoin donation since we are in a little bit of a dip. Ho Yoon, thank you, sir. You sent in a Venmo already this morning. As always, I appreciate you immensely. Remember, obviously, you have the super chat here on the YouTube chat board, but they take 30%. So we always encourage you more. If you can, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. And you can send in your questions, comments, insults, all kinds of stuff. And hell, you might even have a compliment for the show. You can even send that in on Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Let's see. Ray Sosa in. Crypto Fins. Definitely down, but not out. I'm not concerned. I'll be concerned if they lose tonight. But you win tonight. It's a 3-game series. We'll figure it out after. I'm not worried. They're great on the road, but you got to win tonight. Tonight, you can't just outplay them. You got to win the game too. Gus 1388. Steven Gonzalez. Let's see. Panthers need to win tonight. It's going to be hard to win 3 in a row. No, but this team can do that. I'm not worried. They've played better than the Rangers throughout. You got to finish them. They haven't finished. That's been their problem. Listen, let's be honest now. The better goaltenders have been the Bruins and the Rangers. So you're going up against hot goaltenders. Bob has been awesome. These two guys have been better. Let's just call it like we see it. Problem is the Bruins and the Rangers are facing better talent than Bob is facing. I'm just going to call it like I see it. Okay? That's all. And Bob's been fantastic. But unlucky for the Panthers, they're facing better goaltenders than the one that they have. And the one they have is pretty damn good. Let's see. Dude 67. Jamie Zoria. Cap for life. Giovanni is in. NorCal. Puff, puff, give, baby. Steve Chapman is back with a vengeance. Jeff in Long Island. Let's see. Down 4-2 odds were plus 260. I had to take a chance. Do you like them tonight? Money line. Well, let me see. Tonight, money line is minus 170. No, I like them to win tonight, but minus 170, that's a lot. So I probably would stay away from that. You know what I would do? I would wait for the live line. So that way, if they fall behind by a goal, then some really good odds come up, and then now you can, jump on it. That's what I would do. I will wait for the live line. That is my suggestion to you, sir. What else? Stephen Harris, Lisa Rose, Eric Simon, Alexis, man of 1,005 holes, Nico Jones, telling you to hit that like button. Yes, smash the hell out of that like. Only 38 likes, 90 are watching, 91. Come on, man. Let's go. Bring it up. Woodson says, got notification my 305 Dolphin colored Big O Show t-shirt is out for delivery. Yes. 8 orders went out because we don't have all the merch yet. We will get, I think the hats we will get today, I believe. I think I can pick them up this afternoon. And then some of you started ordering colored shirts now, because, the first wave, we just had white shirts, and we've sent the ones that were white that we had, because we only had the 2 blind ass fan shirts and the 305 Dolphin one. We didn't have any of the other 305s that any of you guys ordered. We didn't have the Truth in Sports, the Truth in Dolphin Football, all that kind of stuff. Those are all coming in this week. And then on top of that, we started to add the options of the 9 extra colors. And some of you started ordering aqua or black or gray shirts. And so then I had to then order those, because then I got to stock up on those now. And kind of, I got to build the inventory based on what you're ordering. And then the hats, I saw them on Thursday or Friday. I picked up the equipment. I picked up the stuff Friday. The wife and I mailed out the ones we could on Saturday. And then I know we put in the tracking numbers for you guys. This is all new to us. Some of you have paid, I'm full disclosure with you guys. We're having trouble connecting the PayPal to the Shopify. So 6 of the orders that are PayPal, I have to, today, when the wife gets home, we're going to call Shopify and try to get the PayPal thing finally connected, so then we can move on with the orders that were paid by PayPal. I mean, it's just a clusterfuck. I'm like learning how to do all this at the same time. And then we're building the inventory up at the same time. And we're trying to add new stuff and all that. So it's kind of a live and learn thing. So there's a first wave of you that are going to start getting some stuff this week. And I think by tomorrow, I believe I think the wife said by Wednesday, most everybody gets that first wave. And then by the next day or two, we'll start sending some new ones out, and we'll get that going. And eventually, as the inventory builds up, then we can then mail out stuff a lot faster. You know what I'm saying? But at the moment, I'm kind of getting a feel for what the inventory is, depending on what you guys like off the merch. And by the way, there's our merch shop. Use our QR code. It's a great way to support Sean and I. You want to keep us around? This is another way. If you can't visit our sponsors, which I pray that you visit our sponsors, Cutter's Edge Pro, Acura Pembroke Pines, Toyota. By the way, Toyota did some stuff that's pretty freaking amazing. Got to talk about that eventually. So, any of our great sponsors, Walton Realm, Caneswear, we really need you to support our sponsors, but hitting the like button, making a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo, however it is you can support us. Well, the merchandise is another way. We have Big O Show hats, Bitcoin Big O Show hats. So Bitcoin Big O Show shirts also, that kind of stuff. So there you go. Check it out and use that QR code, or go to bigoradioshow.myshopify.com. The link is right here on our YouTube page. The link is also on our Twitter page, on our Blue Sky page, Instagram page, Facebook pages, Threads, LinkedIn. It's all over. Okay. We post them in every one of our social media websites and all that good stuff. So links are everywhere to our merchandise. Please support. And thank you all out there immensely. Lisa Rose. Lisa, you're about to get a shirt, because I know one of yours was, I know some of the names I know, because I've seen you guys over and over again. Obviously, Lisa's a friend personally, so we hang out together. But, some of you, I've seen the names, so I know. Let's see. Man of 1,005 Holes, Nico Jones, Woodson. Let's see. Panthers got to get it together. Yes, sir. Stephen Harris. The Celtics, yeah. I mean, listen, the Pacers should be super happy they made it this far. Rosendo in. One-Eyed Jack. You're getting closer to a new Bitcoin all-time high. Yes. By the way, I think it just crossed 68,000 right now. 68,121. It made a little turn up. I got to tell you something. Let me say something before it even happens, because I have no insight on this. None of us ever do. Anybody tells you, they're full of shit. You can either guess it and you might get lucky and you get it right. So maybe I guess it and I get it right. But I just have my gut feeling this week, we're going to get an explosive week to the upside. Now, maybe this Mont Gox thing to make it to the downside, which again, no insight whatsoever, but I don't know why. I am just getting this feeling that Bitcoin's going to explode to the upside this week, that we are going to go to all-time highs, that we are going to push to 80,000, 75 easy this week, and maybe even 80,000. But I just get a feeling that we're going to pass that 73.3, right? Or 73.6 or something, whatever it is, the all-time high is. And I just have that feeling. We'll see. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Let's see. Ray Sosa, heartbreak the last couple games, no doubt. Reynaldo Mesa está feo with Tua's contract, bro. Reynaldo, what, do you buy into media bullshit hype, Reynaldo? Are you that feeble-minded, my brother? Are you buying into that? There's nothing wrong with it, my man. Everything's going smoothly. Don't let the media, the media is the one that creates everything and then destroys it all. I work in the media, my brother. I know exactly how they do things because I watch it. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing going on. Everything is fine and nice and smooth. No está feo, mi hermano. Okay? Sorry, my brother. Go to some little fan site. Maybe you want to go catch some fans that want to play the panic mode today, or those people that play the hate game, or go watch the media that wants to spin because they need clicks and all that kind of shit. I do this out of pure passion. I don't do this just for clicks, to try to have an existence in life. My existence is made, bro. I've been at this for 34 years. I don't need anybody's love and attention to glorify or elevate to. I don't need to get anywhere, bro. I've been there, done it. I don't care. I tell it like it is. Y me limpio el culo. Since you speak Spanish. You know what I'm saying? I do this out of pure love. I got to make money, but I do it out of pure love. I don't have an agenda. That's the problem. You listen to people that get on and they have an agenda. I have a negative agenda because that's what I do and that's how I broadcast. I have a Homer's agenda because that's how I do it and that's how I broadcast. I have a clickbait agenda because that's how I broadcast. But I'm just telling you that if that's what you're repeating to other people, Reynaldo, you sound fucking stupid. And you fall for the clickbait bullshit that goes out there. The same clickbait bullshit that tells you, whoa, hey, they're writing, notice in the media, Jalen Phillips and let me explain to you, Reynaldo, and some of you out there, and I might not be that bright how the game is played. First of all, the media talks about how, listen, go back and watch what goes on the last couple of weeks, couple of months. Oh, Jalen Phillips, he's looking great. Maybe he'll be ready for the season. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. No, Jalen Phillips now has a limp. Wait a minute, you guys, we got to temper our timetable. No, that's your fucking timetable, bro. The Dolphins never gave you a timetable. Jalen Phillips never gave you a timetable. None of them said, hey, we're going to be ready by June. No, we're going to be ready by August. No, we're going to be ready by week 1. No, we're going to be ready by week 5. No. I think Mike McDaniel has said the entire time, there's no timetable. We're not hurrying these guys up. When they're ready, they're ready. That's it. The only people that say, oh, no, they're looking good, it's the media that writes it. And then it's the media that writes that he's got a limp. Of course, asshole. It's ACL and a fucking Achilles. Of course they got a limp. But Reynaldo, you fall for it, baby. You go ahead and fall for it because you don't know how the game is played. But when they're all coming, I'm already going. When they all started to make the turn around the block, I already lapped them. But that's how the game is played. They talk about it. They create their own deadlines. Then when their own deadlines aren't met, then they create their own panic. Meanwhile, nobody gave you anything. Nobody told you anything. Same shit with Caitlin Clark now. Have you noticed? Let's build her up to tear her down. You know, it's just the same bullshit, dude. It's just played in different ways. So, you know, nothing is going on that's negative with Tua's contract. Nothing is going on negative with Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb. That's, you know, it's people that make their own shit up, dude. That's all. Nobody else has said anything. Nobody's told you anything. But you go ahead and fall for the clickbait stuff. I'm just telling you, man. It's funny, right? All of a sudden, oh, Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb. Haven't you noticed that? Last couple of months, oh, they look great. Oh, they're ahead of schedule. And then they see him on a mini camp. Oh, they're limping. Well, of course. Oh, we better temper enthusiasm. That's your enthusiasm. That's you putting a deadline. You the one that said, oh, maybe they're ready for the start of the season. Jalen Phillips never said he was ready for the start of the season. Mike McDaniel never said it. Chubb hasn't come out to say it. Chris Greer didn't come out to say it. But no, it was the media that goes out and says, oh, they're looking great. But you're not a fucking doctor, bro. Oh, they're limping. Well, you're not a fucking doctor. But, you know, they create the hype last couple of months, and now they bring it back down last couple of weeks because of the minicamp. It's hilarious. Meanwhile, nobody's told you anything. They're just rehabbing. All they tell you is they're taking their time. Nobody's pumped you with any kind of information about, oh, no, this is they're advancing. They're looking great. Oh, they're going to be ready for the regular season. Oh, they're going to be part of the rotation. Nobody's told you anything. It's all made up shit from one side. So open your eyes and look at what's actually going on. And then that you can determine what's really going on instead of the makeup shit because they got to fill space throughout the offseason. Fill space with a bunch of bullshit stories. Ira Winderman is next with our Acura of Pembroke Pines, Miami Heat, and NBA report.
Heat fans, time for the best insight of your favorite team with insider Ira Winderman, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. It's the Acura of Pembroke Pines, Miami Heat and NBA report. Here's Ira Winderman.
All righty. How you feeling, Ira?
I'm feeling good to a degree. Nice holiday weekend. I'm feeling a little uneven when you realized how little the Celtics had to go through to get to the NBA Finals, and that if the Heat played things right, at worst, we might have been talking about, the last Heat game of the season last night. I mean, the East was a disaster. Boston, as we saw, basically turned it on for 5 minutes at the end of every game and go, okay, this will be good enough. We'll win the game. And it just really showed you how, I don't want to say the East was there for the taking, but the opportunity, Big O, to be competitive was there for the taking. And a month later, it just makes you feel all the worse about how a team could basically crap away a regular season and expect something that was unreasonable from the get-go.
By the way, they've crapped away 2 regular seasons. They just were fortunate that they made something out of it last year, but they tried to do that same bullshit again this year. And so let's call it like we see it. If Jimmy wants to be a star again, then, hey, you're more than welcome to start working in the regular season again, because real stars carry you through the regular season and in the postseason, because that's what I'm used to. I'm used to watching Alonzo Mourning carry you through the regular season, and Wade and LeBron and everybody else. So, let's get back to playing real basketball where you actually give a shit, about the regular season. But let me get to...
And the Celtics players, with the exception of Porzingis, played the regular season and were mostly healthy in the regular season and developed this wonderful chemistry that at moments of truth was there, because it was there in November and December and January. So all of a sudden, you don't have to flip a switch. There's no flipping of switches. You have told me on our Accurate Pembroke Pines report during the season, they might think they're going to flip a switch, but that switch sometimes doesn't exist. You don't know where to go for it. You remember those commercials and the easy button? Yeah.
The hell are you? Are you fucking Magic and Worthy and Kareem that you can flip the switch? Are you all of a sudden Michael and Pippen and all
those guys didn't flip a switch? Michael Jordan went out every year to have the best regular season record.
But my point is, if you are Duncan, Ginobili, and Parker and all, I can see you flipping a switch, because you guys are all studs and you've been together forever. And so maybe you go through a lull for a couple of months and you can flip it, sure. But who the hell are you? You're Jimmy Butler and a bunch of role players. Get the hell out of here, bro. Who the hell do you people think you are? You're a bunch of overachievers the last couple of years. You're not a star-studded team like I just mentioned, that I can respect and say, yeah, we can turn it on and turn it off on you, because you are this shit. I'm talking about Magic Johnson. I'm talking about James Worthy, and I'm talking about Kareem. Of course you can turn it on and turn it off. And Michael, if he wanted to turn it on and turn it off, he could do stuff like that. But the Miami Heat that I've seen the last couple of years, if you thought that way, shame on you.
But you know what, Big O, let's not generalize. Let's not generalize, because for this reason. No matter what you might think of him as a super role player or something else, I think you would agree Bam Adebayo busts his ass to the best of his ability just about every night, correct?
Yes.
Eric Spoelstra busts his ass to the best of his ability, right? Yeah. Eric Spoelstra.
Yeah, but Bam cannot impose his offensive will
but he gives his all. But he gives his all, and that's all you want, and that's all fans want. When I go to a Heat game or even see an injured list of questionable, I know Bam's going to be there and work his hardest. When I know that Eric Spoelstra goes into a game, I know that whether it's December against a bottom-feeding Washington Wizards team, Eric Spoelstra is going to coach his ass off, because that's what he does, because that's what he get paid to do. So let's not overly generalize. I would say probably at least half the team on this Heat team, for better or worse, for lack of ability or worse, do push hard. But when certain people set a tone of otherwise, we saw it with Jimmy, we saw it with Kyle Lowry, it becomes infectious, and it leads to the kind of season you have, whereas a Boston team had continuity all the way along. Look at a guy like Luka Doncic playing tonight in the Western Conference Finals to go to the finals. Big O, say what you want about Luka. I think you would agree he pushes himself every night. He is pitching at the referees in November, in December, in February, because it matters to him. All I want to see, we're seeing it now from the Panthers. I was looking at our other team. I want to see it matter every single night. And you know what? To your argument, Big O, certain players can pick and choose. Lionel Messi, if he doesn't want to go to Vancouver, he doesn't have to go to Vancouver. We knew what we were getting, an aging superstar who would pick his times. If Jimmy wants to be the aging superstar, that's one thing. But this isn't the MLS. This is the top basketball league in the world, and that's a lot harder to do. Believe me, Messi couldn't pick and choose in the Premiership when he was going to play hard and when he wasn't. It's a different level. In the MLS, Inter Miami can pull that off.
Okay, but you know, it's funny how, but in this case, I know what you're saying, but it's funny on the Inter side, I look at it like Messi plays so freaking hard
when he does.
And he plays all the time. It's hard to take him up. So I'm glad, actually, they've taken this twist the last couple of weeks where they've said, no. We're not pushing it. Let's give him a rest. We got 2 games this week.
Agreed.
let's end Vancouver and back and all. For me, what I needed on Saturday, just to kind of get off the beaten path a little bit, because I can't do this with anybody else. I could do it with you because you're an all sports guy. But what I needed on Saturday, I needed my Spo moment from Tata. And that's what I got on Saturday. I got a little tiny bit. I'm not going to even put Tata and Spo's, stratosphere. But I saw Taylor and Campana and all these younger cats play well together. And I know Taylor and Campana can play. So that was the satisfactory moment. For me,
it was Inter Miami's "We Have Enough" night. It was their "We Have Enough" night. You tell me all year that's what coaching is about until you don't have enough. That in the MLS you can pull that off and have enough. But if you were to put that roster out there in a legitimate cup scenario against a higher level of competition, it would have been a different story.
No, that's fine. But see, I know Campana can start on half the league. Okay, so, and I know Robert Taylor's a heck of a player. He's already proven that. And Kremoski and these guys, it's like, and you got a heck of a goaltender. You have enough to go beat Vancouver. Show me something, Tata. And that's what I needed on Saturday. So I was I needed a little more of a Spo moment out of Tata than anything else, because it's like, bro, you're Messi dependent. Right. Of course, when Messi's out there, the offense is on fire. Show me something without him, and that's what I needed to see on Saturday. Now, let me get to this stuff that I really want to get to, because I fucking laughed at Cuban when he made the Kyrie Irving trade. I said, you're out of your effing mind for making this trade. I would never count on Kyrie Irving. I would never imagine that the Dallas Mavericks could play enough defense to make a deep run in the playoffs, to be quite honest. I never predicted that the Mavs would dominate the Minnesota Timberwolves. I don't know how many times I can be wrong on this situation, but I never, ever in my life saw this coming. So I give Cuban and his front office a ton of credit for the guts to make the move, for the vision, for the, I don't know, for staying with it too, because early on it was kind of ugly, and yet they stayed with it. They extended him and everything. To me, I just, you got to admit when you're wrong, and wow, dude.
And this is why awards should be voted after the playoffs, including Executive of the Year for Nico Harrison, for this reason. Wow. Let's not only look at the Kyrie trade, but the Daniel Gafford pickup and having a big body. The Derek Lively draft choice at number 12 and having a big body. Signing for the minimum, a name you're familiar with, Big O, Derek Jones Jr., and getting a 3-and-D power forward defender and putting that together. So what I would equate to this is, and this, folks, goes back to a conversation I had with Orlando Alzagari 2 decades ago when we were talking about a Shaquille O'Neal trade. And we were talking, I think it was a QAM at the time, as how much is too much. And the debate was, okay, Brian Grant and Eddie Jones and everything is fine. Can't throw in Caron Butler. And we debated back and forth whether you should let that be the breaking point for the Shaq trade. And we agreed, you get a great player, you do it. The lesson we've learned from Dallas is, you might have thought at the time that Dorian Finney-Smith and Spencer Dinwiddie and the capital they gave up was too much for Kyrie Irving, but you have to take a chance for greatness. So, Big O, I'm going to posit this to you now, 2 decades after Caron Butler going out to LA for Shaquille O'Neal. Would you be willing to, and I'm going to hold you to this on our upcoming Accurate Pembroke Pines reports through the offseason, in a package that includes enough salary, whether it's Tyler Hero, whether it's other players, would you be willing to give up both Jaime Jaquez Jr. and Nikola Jovic for Donovan Mitchell in a package? Yes or no?
Yeah, you got to, you're going to have to give him up. Now, Donovan Mitchell, again, is not 400 pounds with a toe problem Shaq, is not flat earth problem child Kyrie, I can't grow up Irving. So all these things, you were inheriting this, and then Kyrie, you've gotten the best out of him. Shaq lost an entire human being in weight and played basketball. The year before they won the championship, that was the year that Shaq played out of his freaking mind, that if he wasn't injured, they should have beaten they would have easily beaten the Pistons, and I think they would have beaten the Spurs that year. The way Shaq and Wade were playing, it was amazing. So there were issues with those moves that, the Kyrie is kind of shady, and Shaq at that moment wasn't taking care of himself physically. So that's why I had trepidations. Donovan Mitchell is a Class A individual, dude. Like, you've never said anything B, right. Forget C, D, and F. No. Those grades have never even. No, this is an A+ individual.
And my point is, you give up a little bit more of good and nice for a chance of greatness. The Heat took a chance of greatness with Shaq, and it worked out. The Mavericks took a chance of greatness of a player who already won a championship in Kyrie Irving, and it worked out. Now, sometimes you trade for the Ben Simmons. Sometimes you trade for the James Harden, and you get burned. But you know what? This is a star league. This is a league more than any other sport, including, I'm going to even put football up there, where one player, because only 5 play at a time,
is not enough.
Can make that much of a difference. So when you look at it, so when people are talking about Heat possibilities, and I've heard this plenty, wait, you can't give up Jovic and Jaime and 2 first-round picks. Yeah, you can, because greatness is so hard to find in this league that I think if the Heat have to make a choice, and Pat Riley has to make that choice, I think you always go all in, because greatness is what wins championships.
Yeah. No, I mean, listen, that it goes without saying, and we've seen it. But now I'm kind of not buying that whole thing, because one, I don't think he's going anywhere. I think Cleveland's going to give him the deal. I think the run they had kind of convinced him overall. And I also believe that there'll be a bunch of teams that can outbid the Heat. So I just can't build myself up for that, because I just don't think it's going to end up happening.
But you know what? I think when a player starts his career in Utah and in Cleveland, you get that wanderlust of wanting to get to a real place, in enjoying your seasons, not having that bitter cold, of being in a glamour market. And I see some of that in Donovan Mitchell. Now, everyone thought, okay, go to the Knicks. Perfect fit. Grew up a Knicks fan from the New York area. Makes sense. He doesn't mesh with Jalen Brunson. They were the same ball-dominant player. The Nets are back to being what the Nets always were, the other team. They're the Clippers of New York. They're never going to measure up to the Knicks, even when they have a better team. So I don't see that. So if Donovan Mitchell gets to the point where, you know what, I want to play where I want to play, and I want to play for a place that has that championship lineage, I think that could open the Heat door. Now, as far as Dan Gilbert dealing with the Heat, okay, that's a little bit different. That's another thing. It might not quite be Joe Cronin-like, but that'll be interesting. But Big O, I'm here for the possibilities. I was here for Lillard last summer, whether you agreed or not. I'm here for Mitchell until proven otherwise. You have to shoot for the stars without letting it upset the whole apple cart. I understand that in the Kevin Durant stuff, but you got to think big. You're Pat freaking Riley.
No, I get it. And if you want to, fast track it, you're going to have to try to do it this way. And I totally understand that. I just don't want to build myself up, because what I've seen lately, if Dwayne Wade's not involved, you're not getting it. And so I don't even know, just, like last year with Damian Lillard, their only shot with Damian Lillard was Damian Lillard had to become a dick, and he wasn't willing to become a dick. And that's what they needed. And I almost feel like, we'll never know, but I almost feel like the Heat knew he had to be a dick. The agent knew he had to be a dick. But unfortunately, Damian Lillard didn't figure it out himself or something. I don't know.
Couldn't or wouldn't. Or couldn't or wouldn't.
What were you, Brian Flores? You're on that boat and you're like, yo, man, we got Tom Brady coming. Brian, let's have a little conversation with him. I'm not doing that. What's wrong with you, bro? Let's get this shit done.
The difference is Damian Lillard had a new extension in place in multi-years and couldn't control. Donovan Mitchell can leave any team. The Cavaliers were a team he's traded to after 1 year. That's the hook that matters in the NBA. That's what got Paul George out of Indiana early when he went to OKC. So there's a little bit more leverage here. So you might need to be you don't have to be as much of a jerk in that case. You can simply say, hey, any team who gets me, I might be walking after a year. Just know that Damian Lillard couldn't do that. That's why he had to show up in Milwaukee with 4 years left on his contract and say,
he could have told Milwaukee, hey, you guys want to trade for me? Fine, but I don't want to be there. So if you want a player to be there, not be there for 4 years, and you're asking me to play in a place I don't want to be at, you guys go ahead and make that trade, because that's what I would have done. Damian wasn't willing to
that was 4 years of contract, not one where you consider be miserable. We've seen.
In fact, Ira, let me spin that on you. That's more leverage than even the 1 year. You know why? I'm telling you, I'm going to be a dick for 4 years. I'm going to tell you I don't want to be in Milwaukee for 4 years. In fact, when the media asks me, I'm going to say I got traded here. I'm only here because I've been forced to be here. I don't want to be here. So if you want a player like that, that's not going to create a good vibe for your media or your fans. I will tell everybody publicly, I don't want to be here. Milwaukee would not have made that move then. Damian doesn't have it in him. That's his problem. He's a nice guy, actually. He might have an edge on the court. Off the court, he has no business edge. Clearly, he has no business edge.
See, my opposite is I think better leverage is I'm glad to be here for 1 year, but I'm out of here. I'm renting. I'm not buying, because come next July, I'm gone. That's pretty good leverage also. You can play that with a smile. That's the difference, Big O. You can do that with a smile, not hurt your image, and be clear about it. From the moment Jimmy Butler went to Minnesota from Chicago, he let him know, as soon as this deal's over, I'm headed somewhere else, to get rid of me now or get nothing in exchange. They got their package back. I think Donovan Mitchell still can. We have to see the direction they go with the coach and the rest of the roster. That's going to be in flux for a little while, I think.
If Damian ever wants to learn how to have balls in business, he can call me and I'll teach him how to do it.
And give him a Bitcoin hat also. Feel free.
Forget the Bitcoin. That's balls on another end. I'm just saying I did it because I did it at QAM. Okay, I knew how to get out. I knew how to be in a better place because I've been in a much better place. In fact, June 15 will be 4 years, and so. I'm in a better place. I have total control of everything. I don't know, but I had to force the issue. And, he's not willing to force the issue sometimes. Sometimes you got to force the issue, and he wasn't willing to do it. All right, let's get to the happy and depressing news, because when you talk Bill Walton, there's always going to be a smile on your face, because that's all Bill Walton could ever do is bring you entertainment, bring you a smile, make you laugh, because he was so good for basketball in every way possible, colorful on the court, off the court, as an announcer, just, a guy that by the way, he went out with cancer, but those of us that are old, we know how tough he was as a player, because he had those fused ankles that he played with all the way to the end, where you and I know that even as a broadcaster, for him to get around and all that, it was mission. This is one tough son of a bitch, because he fought a lot of pain for well over half a century.
This was the rare case of someone you see publicly is the same person you see privately. I have run into Big O over the years, plenty of front-facing, wow, he's a good guy, guys. And you get back in the bowels of the arena and he wants nothing to do with you. Bill Walton was the opposite. The one line I've heard resonate since we learned about his death yesterday.
John Stockton, anyone? All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'll leave that for the politicos and other people. Bill Walton was who you saw the same way both places. He was just a guy that it was great to be around. He was friendly to everyone. He understood how important it was to make the people connection. So the connection, whether it was with Dave Pasch or working the NBA national broadcast and bringing that joy to the game, he really, the lesson we learned, which is why when you mentioned here about bringing a smile to your face also, is those of us who don't savor every day and enjoy every moment, look at someone like that who appreciated life to the fullest. He took the ride. It's a ride for all of us. We don't know when it's going to end, but we know along the way we can bring joy, we can deliver joy, we can experience joy. That's really who Bill Walton was. I once dealt with him. He published a magazine. One of these things you put your name on it. It was Bill Walton's NBA basketball preview. And I wrote an article and the magazine folded and I got stiffed out of my pay. And Bill comes over and goes, "Oh, that's terrible. We have to talk to those people." He was just, he didn't give me the money, but he commiserated. He understood the working man and what you go through. He was a really, really, really good person. There was nothing phony about him. And Big O, in our industry, there is so much phony. There are so many people in your seat. When the microphone goes off, people go, "Man, what an a-hole that guy is." And then you turn the lights on and they're a different person. He was the same lights on, lights off. It was a pleasure to be around him. And the difference was, when the Heat were great, every broadcaster was my best friend because they wanted to know what was going on with the team. They had it covered on a regular basis. When the Heat wasn't great, it didn't matter to Bill. He would still greet you when he was doing a game. He would still treat you the same. He was a special guy. I'm glad I got to meet him. I'm glad I got to know him. And I'm glad even now I'm getting to read all these remembrances when you realize how many lives that he touched.
Exactly. And it didn't matter where he was, whether he was calling a game at Oregon or an NBA game, it was always going to be the greatest broadcast of all, because that's how he made it feel. You know what I mean? And to him, it was a blessing to call whatever game he was at, pro or college. You know what I mean? It's just a really good dude overall. Maybe also it's part of the era where he came from too, because he obviously came from a more of a loving era. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what it was about him, but it was just a dude that everybody was the same to him. And everybody could relate to him one way or another, no matter if we weren't even on his same plane.
Right.
Because he obviously was thinking, things that we would never be thinking of, but we all kind of wanted to relate to him. You know what I mean? It's just,
and if you go through with life with a smile, as opposed to these angry times, it doesn't matter whether you're pro-marijuana or anti-marijuana, whether you're liberal or conservative, however you feel about social injustice and however you want to vent. If you go through life with a smile, you're more likely to get a positive reaction. That's what he did, because Big O, he understood more than anything one thing. This is a game. That's all it is. You're before you come on the air, you watch these sports talk debate shows where everyone is angry and bloviating. You mentioned it before my segment today about people talking about what does Tua think and what doesn't he think, and trying to come up with their outrageous opinions. He never veered from the course of, this is a game. I'm trying to throw a sphere through a circle while running around in short pants. He appreciated that, and it came off as that. It's just a game. He enjoyed the game.
no doubt. All right, what do you got going on the Sentinel so folks can check you out?
Just posted a story. It's on Sentinel.com. It'll be at your doorstep tomorrow. For the first time ever, the NBA is introducing an early negotiating period for your own free agents. It used to be until June 30th, 6 p.m., you could not talk to your own players either. Now, more like the NFL, one day after the NBA Finals ends, you get an open period to negotiate with your own free agents. For the Heat, that's Caleb Martin, Haywood Highsmith, maybe Josh Richardson, Thomas Bryant, Kevin Love. It gives them the extra period. But here's the interesting part, Big O. That window opens the day after the end of the NBA Finals. So you have 28 teams who only want one thing right now, the fastest possible NBA Finals. Because those teams, an important situation for a lot, including the Lakers with LeBron, you can wind up with a 2-week runway to establish yourself ahead of free agency, or you can wind up with 4 or 5 days if the Finals goes the full 7. So it's the first time that's in place. I broke it down. I talked about how that might have impacted Heat last year with Gabe Vincent and Max Strus, and how it might impact the Heat this year, believe it or not. Please read the story about Jimmy Butler. So it's a different approach by the NBA. I think it's smart because everyone cheats anyway. At least now you can legally cheat with your own free agents.
There you go. Follow him on Twitter at Ira Heatbeat and catch his work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Ira, have a terrific week. We'll catch up on Monday, my friend.
Catch you next week at the NBA Finals preview and the Acura Pembroke Pines report. Thanks, Big O.
Thank you, sir. And Acura Pembroke Pines, they've got it going on right now. 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 and Pines. And by the way, if you own or lease an Acura, tell them that Big O sent you. Get on down there. Go see Mike Chan and Jordan Ferber. They do an excellent job. And folks, they got their 16th anniversary sale going on right now. You can get 3.9% financing for 60 months. The 2024s, the Integra $319, the RDX $419, the MDX $429, and of course the electrified ZDX is here, folks. You can sign up. You want to get your ZDX, order it now. Get on down there. Go see Larry Schlossberg, Pat Nasto, Tony Stampone, all the great people out there at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines.
You've been listening to the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA Report with Ira Winderman. When you're looking for award-winning service and great deals from the #1 volume Acura sales dealership in the Southeast United States, you go to Craig's Inn Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
All right. Thank you all out there as always. Yeah. Ronnie Katz, baby. Boca jaw surgery. All right. Oh, man. We got Dolphin OTAs going on today. We'll keep you updated if there's any kind of earth-shattering stuff coming out of it. We will keep you updated on that. Tom Pelissero, by the way, is reporting that the Players Union, they are negotiating now. It's interesting with all the OTA stuff going on right now. They want to end the OTAs. The NFL Players Association is working to finalize a proposal to overhaul the offseason starting as soon as 2025, eliminating voluntary on-field work in the spring in favor of a longer training camp ramp-ups, with players reporting in mid-June to early July per sources. I could see them early July, because they don't report till late July, like the 25th, 26th or 24th for the Hall of Fame game people. And then it's more like the 29th or the 30th for the rest. So, yeah, I could see them early. It won't be late June. But here's my problem. Not my problem. Their problem, okay? Which could be your problem, which could be somebody else's problem, could be all of our problems. Because it becomes all of our problems. Because then we go sticks. Too much time on my hands. It leads to such a calamity. That's the problem. You give players too much time on their hands. And, listen, Javon Holland, he can use the time on his hands. He'll go travel to Greece. He'll go educate himself and learn about what happened in the Vatican or something. I don't know. He'll do something because he's that dude, right? Teron Armstead will record an album. He'll relax in Hawaii. I don't know. Invent something. I don't know. He's that dude. Tua, we'll have some camps. We'll go hang out with the family. We'll go work out. You can trust those guys. They can have all the time on their hands. But there's a small percentage of players on each team sorry, that, they can have too much time on their hands. Some people are going, what? Why does he keep doing that? And then other people are going, that's a fucking great song. Anyway, so it's just, this is the reality. So that's the part that, the mumbling behind the scenes for the coaches in the front office. That's what it's going to be. It's like, well, I don't know if I want to give these guys that much time. That's really why they came up with all these things throughout the offseason. It's because the couple of idiots you have on each team, because each team has a couple of morons. What are you going to do, bro? You know what I'm saying? You got a couple of morons too, wherever you work. Okay? You got a bunch of people working somewhere. There's a couple of morons. I don't care where you're at. There's a couple of morons. We all have them in every building, In every business, there's a couple of morons. You can't hire everybody that's excellent, right? There's a couple of your fellow employees that are slackers, and you know they're slackers. Yeah, that's kind of the way it is. So that's the only scary part about all of this, is that that's why they don't want them to have too much time on their hands, Just say it. It's a problem. It's definitely a problem. Let's see. What else do we have? Saturday is coronation day for our Orejona. Madrid. Let's see. Reynaldo's probably the same guy that thought the Dolphins were sure trading for Saquon or Dalvin Cook. Oh, my God. Oh, what are your thoughts about Jimmy Butler being in the new Bad Boys movie? Bro, more things he can do off the court. God bless him. Make the money. I get you. Good morning, Big O and Sean. Any chance y'all coming out for the Summer League again? Nah, not this time. Nah. Nah. It's, I mean, I loved it, but fiscally, not worth it. Spent a lot of money to go out there. I don't think the coverage was worth it. Bitcoin might have another dip soon, folks. There you go, green line. If it happens, hey, beautiful thing, bro. What does Bitcoin have to get to for you to retire? Just curious. I mean, look, dude, 67. Let's be honest now. Let's talk about this. Okay. I don't have the kind of money that Bitcoin is going to retire me. Okay. And whatever Bitcoin I have collected, it's really for my daughter. It'll retire her. See what I'm saying? More than me. Because if it pops to 1 million by 2030 or 2035 or 40, it goes to 1 or 2 million, bro, I'm already too old at that point. So it's really more for my daughter, not me. You know what I'm saying? So I unless Bitcoin goes to 1 million this year, then maybe I'll have a couple extra dollars. That would be great, because I don't have a whole Bitcoin. But what I'm saying is, like I've told you guys, the for the average person like us, the quest should be 20%, 25% of a Bitcoin. Okay, so if it does get to 1 million, then you've got about 250,000. You know what I'm saying? But if those of you that can get to half a Bitcoin or a Bitcoin or whatever, then yeah, of course, it all depends. And then obviously I have some other altcoins, and then hopefully they'll actually climb faster than Bitcoin. You know what I mean? So that should also help out a little bit. But again, I mean, that's why I've talked about this many times, 267. Some of you out there that are a little bit more comfortable, you're really going to have an opportunity to retire. Like, get rich. You know what I'm saying? So me, I'm just looking to pay some bills. I'm good with that. I'm not sitting there going, oh my God, I'm going to retire and I'm rich. No, probably not. But some of you are going to have that opportunity because you did get to a Bitcoin or two. You did amass a bunch of Ethereums. You did get, thousands of Polygons or Cardano or something. And if you're able to amass some of that, something's going to hit. If you bought a lot of Jasmine and it goes and it runs, you might, or a Star Atlas or something, something like that could happen. Yeah. So definitely. What else do we have? Josh says, oh, okay, no, let's see. Tommy Rockers, got that. Jules, I've never been able to get into hockey. What was into the Olympic team that we beat the Russians, but this Panther team has me. There you go, Jules. They're fun, man. You should watch. You should give it more of a chance. Yes, I'll definitely. Yeah, no, we'll go to camp. I'll definitely go to camp. I'll go to the practices that matter. I'm just not going to reschedule the show today to go watch a bunch of guys run around in shorts. You know what I mean? All I want is nobody to get injured. That's it. There's nothing else there. There's nothing else going on. You know? Was impressed by how prepared Tata had Inter. By the way, let's talk a little bit about that really quick. Great win by Inter on Saturday, 2-1 over Vancouver. No Messi, Busquets, or Suarez. Okay, Jordy did play. And one of the things I was telling my wife before the game, hey, this is a game they can win. Campana, and I've tweeted this out many times, could easily start for 15, 20 teams in this league. Taylor is a heck of a player. Kremoski, you have Jordi Alba out there. You have enough guys, bro. Rojas, you have enough guys. And let me tell you, let me call bullshit here, okay? Bullshit on Inter Miami. You guys knew that Messi, Suarez, and Busquets weren't playing early in the week. Did you see how those kids played? There was some chemistry, okay? You practiced with those kids all week long without Messi, Busquets, and Suarez. I'm sure they came out and did some individual work and all that, but in the scrimmaging, I could tell you played with them because they looked so much better and in sync, and the passes were much better, leading each other overall. And listen, you guys can play it off however you want. You knew there are 2 games coming up. You knew the tournament's coming up also for Messi. You know what's coming up. Get the F out of here. Don't bullshit me, okay? You screwed the people. Maybe the MLS made you keep it quiet till late in the week to make you guys look like the bad guys. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. I don't know what the politics are behind the scenes. But there were a lot of pissed off people in Vancouver that spent a lot of money on the tickets, and they didn't find out till, 24 hours prior to the game that Messi, Busquets, and Suarez aren't playing, which is total horseshit. Okay? The reaction from fans, they were livid. You have to understand that we have a whole bunch of people that wear the pink and black, and they don't give a shit about the team. Most of those people that were in Vancouver, unless they're part of Southern Legion, Vice City, or the Siege, okay, unless they're part of the supporters groups, those are the real fans, the real fans. Those guys sometimes travel. No, they travel all the time. But if they were there, those were the only real Inter fans. The rest of those that are wearing Messi jerseys, they're Argentina Messi fans. They don't care if Inter Miami wins or loses. And the day Messi leaves, they will leave right away and never watch, never go to an Inter game. They're not like me that I watch Inter with or without Messi. I live, eat, and breathe Inter, Miami Fusion, Miami FC, Strikers. I don't give a shit. I passionately follow and love all my local soccer teams. Always been like that. Before Messi, without Messi, with Romario, without Romario, with Winalda, without Winalda. I don't give a shit, dude. I've seen it all. Okay? With Valderrama, without Valderrama, I don't care. I'm a real fan. But unfortunately, Inter Miami has a disease right now. They have a whole bunch of people that are going to these games, and they don't care about the team at all. They only care about one guy, and that's the only guy they want to see, and that's it. It's pretty pathetic. Sad. But I'm going to call bullshit. You knew they weren't playing. The kids played better. You had them practice all week. Tata, you finally showed me something. I pick on you a lot because you're Messi dependent, but I am a fair person, and I will give you love when you deserve it. And Tata, this Saturday in Vancouver, you deserve some love because the youngins played well in a 2-1 win. They got Atlanta United tomorrow at 7:30. We'll talk about that tomorrow on the show. All right. Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. Why don't we? Alan Blanco and the great people at 3A Graphics. You know what, dude? You know what I messed up in? I got to show you the shirts. Yeah, we'll do it on the break now. Anyway, Rangers defeated the Panthers twice over the weekend, 2-1 in overtime and 5-4 in overtime. They take a 2-1 lead tonight. It's game 4, a must-win. Rangers and Panthers, the over and under is 5.5 goals. Panthers favored by a goal and a half. It's plus 154. Moneyline Rangers plus 142. Panthers minus 170. On Saturday, Inter Miami with a clutch win over Vancouver 2-1. Taylor and Campana with the goals. Taylor also had an assist. He was fantastic in that game. Celtics eliminated the Pacers with a 4-0 sweep. 105-102 win there in game 4. The Mavs on Sunday took a 3-0 dominating lead on the T-Wolves, 116-107. I never saw this coming, boy. Tonight, 8:30, game 4. You think it's a must-win for the T-Wolves? Holy shit. Mavs favored by 2, over and unders 210. T-Wolves plus 110 on the money line. The Mavs are minus 130. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. Call my friend Alan Blanco, 786-618-1443. All right. By the way, one of the things we like to talk about is an MVP. And, you know, we like to find our Cutter's Edge Pro MVP of the night. And I'm going to go our Cutter's Edge Pro MVP of Saturday night. But this time, our Cutter's Edge Pro MVP has a twist. And here it is.
Who's last night's MVP? For your complete landscape solutions anywhere in South Florida, there's only one MVP. CuttersEdgePro.com. Here's our CuttersEdgePro.com MVP of the night.
You know, you always give it to one person, right? Well, I'm going to give it to a pair. And I'm going to go to Mr. Taylor and Mr. Campana for Inter Miami. These are two young studs that have played so well every time they get an opportunity. Campana obviously was becoming the front and center guy here, but then we got a guy named Lionel Messi and Suarez, and so he's taking a back seat. And the kid has been a true pro, waiting for his opportunity. He could easily start all over the league. And Taylor has been a fantastic compliment to the great players that they have here. He's had a real awakening of his career since these guys got here. And on Saturday night, without Messi, Busquets, and Suarez, this was a night where the two young cats had to impose their offensive will. Okay, these are things that I talk about with Bam, right? And you guys these are starters in this league. So now you've got an opportunity to be front and center. Go out and showcase your skills. And Taylor and Campana proved to be the better players on the pitch on Saturday night. And they did what they were supposed to do. Okay? You guys are starters if the big boys weren't here, because you are big boys. And guess what? They put their big boy pants on, and they led Inter Miami on an important road game to pick up 3 points and keep the lead in the standings by 1 point over Cincinnati, because Miami's got 34, I believe, and Cincinnati's got 33. So Cincinnati's breathing down your neck. Here's a big game on the road, clear across 2 continents, or 1 continent, 2 countries, and you need your young guys to step up, and Taylor and Campana stepped up in a big-time way. That's exactly what William Quigley and Mike and all the great people at Cutter's Edge Pro do every single day. And whether it's reshaping your home, your HOA complex, your business, or maintaining it every month, call the people at Cutter's Edge Pro. Plus, hurricane season right around the corner. Let's clean up the house, man. We don't want any of these trees dangling on the homes and the wires and all that kind of stuff. Call the pros, 954-472-0622. Taylor, Campana, our Cutter's Edge Pro MVPs of the night.
The MVP of the night is brought to you by CuttersEdgePro.com. Servicing HOAs, condominiums, townhomes, commercial properties, corporate parks, and malls throughout South Florida. CuttersEdgePro.com. Providing South Florida MVP performance every day of the year.
John Wayne's 45. Big O, gift for everyone. Look up Ondo. Thank me later. Who's this rookie? This guy's coming in with Ondo now. Brother, when you get up in the morning, I've been up a week before you. I didn't get up like, another time zone. No. I got up a week before you. My man is giving Ondo tips now. Ondo. You know where Ondo is right now? Let me show you. Because John Wayne obviously is a rookie in these parts and doesn't really know what the hell is going on. Oh, here we go. No wonder. I'm going like, damn, what the hell is this? I'm not able to pull it up here. So Ondo right now is at $1.24. So we gave you Ondo when it was 24 cents. So John Wayne, you should have listened to me and you'd be up already $1 on each one. We gave Ondo to everybody when it was 24 cents. It's $1.24, my man. So your news is months late. BlackRock and all these people are behind Ondo. I already told everybody that Ondo was going to be a monster when it was 24 cents. And some people invested. In fact, I'm sure some will tell you over there. My man's coming in with Ondo now. All right, give me a break. Here we go. Manny Navarro joins us with our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes, and his news will be fresh, unlike John Wayne's. Caneswear Report.
Walton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Walton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Walton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Walton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 16 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Take up to $10,000 off a 2024 Acura during our 16th anniversary sale.
The viewpoints, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. If you're a Miami sports fan, there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop. Time for Canes fans to get what they want. Information, insight, and perspective. It's the Caneswear Miami Hurricanes Report with Manny Navarro, exclusively on a Big O radio show. Here's Big O and insider Manny Navarro.
All right, baby. There we go. The merch is in. Blind-ass fan alert. There we go.
Nice. I love it.
All right, so hit the merch. Hit the link. It's Big O Radio Show. shop.myshopify.com. You can check it out. We got it there. The link is there on our YouTube page. It's also on our Twitter page. There you go. A little 305 action. Dolphin colors. We have them in Heat and Panthers and all kinds of stuff. And then this is the other blind ass fan alert shirt that's also been ordered quite a bit.
I love it.
So, this is the not for blind ass fan show. There you go. Okay. All right. So there we go. John Wayne, I'm busting balls, bro. We appreciate you. I'm glad you're looking out for us. It's just, we're a little bit ahead of you there on the crypto side, bro. That's all. If you would have listened to me, I would have made you a lot more money on Ondo, actually. So anyway, how you feeling, my brother?
Doing good, man. How are you?
You're not making any money on crypto right now, unfortunately.
I'm not. I'm too busy investing in travel, soccer, and basketball. My girls are that's where I'm putting all my energy and money, brother. Right now, I probably need to be doing something, but that's where it's going.
They better make the MLS or the WSL so you can return on that investment. So you get some ROI, baby. ROI. Anyway, all right. Oh man. So. What's the off time right now for the Canes? Because it seems kind of quiet right now, and not a lot of stuff going on.
No, I mean the big recruiting weekend is about the big recruiting period, right? Where guys start coming in on quote unquote official visits, begins this coming weekend. So it is going to get very busy in terms of action and reports and people saying, hey, this guy liked his visit. The typical stories we get every single year. He loved his visit to Coral Gables. Oh, by the way, he's still going to LSU, Alabama, and Georgia, and everywhere else because this is what the kids do. They go through the recruiting process. So there's going to be a lot of chatter and, will this guy commit? And, people get all excited over this stuff. And that's what you'll be hearing over the next few weeks as people take visits.
What's it called? Facility-wise, what's the latest there? What do we know?
Well, I mean, look, they're still trying to raise money to build the state-of-the-art facility at Miami, the one that that Mario was sort of promised when he took the job. They said they were going to build him something. I don't know if it was going to be Oregon-like because Phil Knight has endless supplies of money, but it was going to be something that was going to be, a recruiting tool for Miami when people stepped on campus. Well, obviously a lot has changed in college football. In the last few weeks, obviously, this past week, especially with colleges now and the NCAA agreeing, all these power programs to pay the players, and so the money has to go where it has to go, and so Miami is still trying to raise money privately to finish and complete its facility upgrades, but I think the priority now is paying the players and NIL, and that's what takes priority.
Okay, so that leads me to my question that pretty much is the main question of this interview today is the NCAA now is allowing the colleges to pay. So educate us here because the NIL fund is not really the college. The college is kind of managing where that money is going, but that money is collected from other people. So educate us on what this means now if the college gets to play and how much more will that create less parity in college football?
Well, I mean, look, the bottom line is colleges are created, right, to have not just football teams, but everything else. They cover the bill for the swimming team, the track team, the basketball team, the baseball, the softball, whatever sport it is. And I think with the ruling that came down last week and with basically everything trending towards, them agreeing that they're going to start paying the athletes, it's going to put all of that into question now. Our school's still going to be able to afford to have teams in other sports. How is that going to affect their budget? Basically what they agreed to was to pay about $20 million a year was the initial estimate. The final number hasn't been agreed to, but in terms of profit sharing for Power 4 schools, be somewhere in the range of $20 million with the athletes to pay them directly for playing the sports, for setting up, producing the TV product, the game, all that stuff. So it's going to change things. It's going to affect certain programs more than others. The ones that have a lot of private funding and a lot of money behind them will probably be able to keep sports, other sports besides football and basketball that pay the bills. The ones that don't, I could see that eliminating sports and affecting certain schools. And how Title IX and everything else plays into that will be interesting to watch. But we're still very early on in the process, and all I know is, they're going to have to back pay too. They're going to have to back pay students up to, I think, 2016. So if you were in college, you're going to be getting a check. If you played sports in college since 2016, you'll be getting a back pay check for what you were owed, and that's why these schools are going to be affected.
Okay, so then this puts Georgia, Alabama, and others in a much better position than McNeese State and FIU, correct?
Correct. But I think they were already in that spot, and I think all this is going to do is exacerbate it.
Right. This seems like it just piles on even more, because if you already have your NIL collective, which is going to be much stronger at Michigan than it is going to be at Northeast Louisiana State, and now on top of that, now Michigan money on top of the NIL money is still going to be even more.
I mean, the deal is that this is why the Power 2 is such a big deal, right? If you're in the SEC or the Big Ten and you're getting the biggest slice of the pie from TV money, you're going to be fine. If you're one of those schools in those conferences, you're going to be fine. If you're Florida State, you're Miami, you're Clemson, or you're one of the schools in the Big 12 like UCF, BYU, Cincinnati, all the Big 12 schools, Kansas State, you're going to be playing from behind. You're going to be in a tougher situation than those other programs. But again, we're still all the rulings have gone down. They've basically agreed to back pay students. And so it's going to cost them, millions of dollars every single year to do that. And it's going to affect, who they, how many people they can hire, people that may not have the most important jobs in the world may get sliced and diced. People, coaches may not be making $750,000 anymore at some of these schools. They're going to be making $250,000 or whatever it is that they can make from it. So that's where you're going to see the effect. And in the end, like you said, it's going to help the SEC and the Big Ten schools, because they're going to be the ones that still have the money to afford everything and to overpay people and to have things run at a premium rate versus everybody else who will be playing from behind.
All right, my brother, what do you got going on the Athletics so folks can check you out?
Well, we mentioned recruiting and what a busy time it's going to be. Miami's, I think, hosting 15 or 16 kids this coming weekend. I just put out a report sort of previewing the next month. Not just on the Hurricanes, but basically the 5 big state schools, USF, UCF, Florida State, Florida, Miami, and then all the top prospects in the 2025 cycle. You can find that article at theathletic.com. It came out today. And then I'm going to have more stuff here on the SEC. I know our ACC writer, Grace, is putting that stuff together. I've got my SEC package that I'm putting together. I'm sitting here reading about Kentucky and all the different SEC schools, brother. So it's there's a lot to read. If you're a fan of college football, The Athletic is a place to go because we'll have everybody covered there.
Amen. Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. And, of course, subscribe to The Athletic. As always, Manny, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. Have a fantastic week. We'll catch up on Friday.
All right, brother. Take care. I'll see you.
You got it. And don't forget, go to Caneswear. Use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off if you go live or online. And if you can shop anywhere in the country, you will get free shipping when you order over $99 and use our code BIG010, and you will get 10% off at Caneswear.com.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at Caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
By the way, I need to correct myself because when you're wrong, you're wrong. John Wayne's 45. I said I gave you Ondo at 24 cents. I lied. On January 2nd, I gave you Ondo at 22 cents. Not 24. 22. Hey, let's go over some of those. Why don't we do that? Why don't we have a little fun? I gave you Tectum back on January 2nd. Where is Tectum right now? Tectum is a monster. Let's see if it's up, down, whatever, because we've had like a big dip in the market. Some things have gone down and haven't come up yet again. Okay. This is awesome. This is fantastic. Tectum is still in the dip from, remember I gave you Ondo 22 cents. It's $1.24. Tectum is going to be a beast. It's at $12.73, down from the $20. It went all the way up to like $40. It doubled from when I told you at 20, and look how much it's gone down that it's at $12.73. So you can still take advantage. I gave you Pendle at 123 at that time. Pendle right now is 668. 123 to 668. That's crazy. I think I need to buy some Tectum. All right, anyway, Game Swift. Let's see, where are we at with Game Swift? Because these are a bunch that I gave you. Game Swift has not come back up again. Down 22 cents. We gave it to you at 57 cents. Let's see what else. Good and bad we'll give you. Always do it. Because there's some stuff that are on dips. Like I know I lowered my overall price for Neutron and for what's it called? For Kryptonite. And Kryptonite's gone up a lot the last couple of days because I got it under 2 pennies and it's gone up. Yes, sir.
Oh, you got some asking what's the symbol for Tectum?
Oh, God. Let's see. Let me look it up for you here. I love Tectum. Tectum's going to be a freaking beast. Let's see. Tectum is TET. TET. Tectum. Love Tectum. Aletheum, another one that I absolutely love. Aletheum. We gave it to you at $1.08 on January 8th. Where is Aletheum? Aletheum is going to be a monster also. Big time monster. $1.64. It's at $1.08. I gave it $1.08 and $1.64. It went up way more, but this is on a dip right now, which is fantastic. But it's still up from where I gave it to you, from $1.08 to $1.64. Hive Mapper. I gave it to you at 14 cents. It's at 8 cents right now. There's some of them that are still at a really good price that you can get in, man. Not bad. Not bad. So there you go. There you go. All right. What else we going? What else? There is a meme coin called Turbo. Yeah, I know. It's going crazy. I don't do meme coins. I did a little SHIB from the last bull run, made some money on SHIB, and then I took my profits. Then I had some extra profits there. I took my profits and my investment. That's what I did. And then the profits I had left, I divested out of them a few months back for some other stuff. So I would tell you that I got out of it. I know you can make a lot of money in memes. You can lose money too. I try to invest, not gamble. And memes are gambling, basically. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, if you hit on the right meme, God bless you, man. God bless you. I just don't want to take those chances. You know? Pat in Asheville is in the house. Orlando, any chance Ricardo Silva's people sponsor the show on game nights? No, I haven't reached out about that. I haven't reached out if they would like to do that. That would be pretty cool. What else do we have going on here? What do we got to talk about? Bill Walton passing away. Sad, 71. Angel Hernandez. Good news that he's retiring. Good riddance. Terrible, terrible umpire, dude. And thank God he is just leaving because he is not good for the game. Nothing about that dude is good for the game. Mike Tyson. By the way, Mike Tyson had an incident in the airplane. Apparently not that serious, but, you know, he is 58 years old. He's got a fight coming up, and, you know, this doesn't, like, put that fight in a great light. You know what I'm saying? So apparently not serious, and he's fine and all that kind of stuff. But apparently Tyson required medical treatment during a flight from Miami to Los Angeles on Sunday when his ulcer flared up and he became dizzy and nauseous. He had since been described as doing great, and there's no threat to the fight with Paul in Texas. So we'll see. We'll see. I just hope he's all right. He looks good in that training. I'll tell you this. I would never get into a ring with Mike Tyson, even at 58 years old. Okay. I don't care if I was 27, not 57 like I am now. Of course, I don't want to get in a ring with Mike Tyson at 57 and he's 58. No. I don't want to get in a ring with him being 58 and I'm 27. Okay. No interest whatsoever at all. It's like that rich idiot now that is going to go down on a sub to prove to people that you could go down on a man-made sub, you know, like not this, you know, an elaborate thing, but a private type sub, and go to the Titanic, you know, go to the floor and see the Titanic. And I'm like, why? Who gives a shit? Like, what kind of a loser are you that you're going to spend millions of dollars to go on a sub to go down and see this Titanic? How is your life any better? That I really don't understand. So you're spending $20 million on this. $20 million can feed a whole bunch of people that are starving. $20 million could put a bunch of kids through college. You know how much good you could do with $20 million? Like, what do I need? So what do I need to get into a ring with Tyson? My life going to be any better or something? No, it's going to only be worse. Oh, I went down and see the Titanic. Oh, great. I've seen it on film. Big deal. I could go on YouTube right now and go look at film of people down at the Titanic. I did it, and I didn't have to get on a sub. I mean, it's like watching this weekend. Did you see, what's the name of that stupid mountain that everybody, Everest, right? Is it Everest or which, the one over there in is it Everest? No, it's not Everest, right? It's Kilimanjaro or whatever the hell it is. What's it called? I don't know. The one that everybody goes, Nepal, right? It is where, and there was a line to climb the mountain. A mountain that you're risking your life to climb. And there's like hundreds of people standing in line to climb the mountain together. And I'm just looking at all these people like, you guys are a bunch of losers. I'm going to stand in a line. It already takes long enough to climb the mountain. I got to risk my life to climb that mountain. Now I got to wait in line like I'm in Disney World or some shit. The things that people do, I don't get it. No interest whatsoever. None. John Rouse is in the house. Paul backed out, I heard this morning. Where did you hear that? Is there any truth to that, Sean? I haven't seen anything that Paul backed out. So I don't know about that. Robert De Niro is testifying at Donald Trump's hearing. You cannot make this stuff up. Really? Oh, man. Mike Tyson in his prime with Cuz could beat any boxer in their prime. Yeah, definitely. Jimmy Butler being in Bad Boys trailer. Yeah. I don't know. I know it's the second time you mentioned it, Josh, but I don't know. I don't really care, bro. You know what I mean? It's I'm kind of tired of the act already. It's like, bro, if you don't want to show up in to play basketball, and I got no time for you. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of where I'm at with Jimmy Butler. El Descaro, I'm done with El Descaro. I'm done with it already. You know, you've pulled enough of the vacation time here, and you gotten away with a bunch of bullshit because you had a shortened season in the bubble, and then you made your run, and then last year you got the break with Giannis, and you made the run, and so you've kind of milked that shit, and then you've had another Eastern Conference run, so all of a sudden and so this year you try to think that you can pull off the same bullshit again. Because you didn't have to work that hard to get to the finals last year, and you didn't have to work that hard to get to the finals in the bubble. So you thought you were going to do it again, not work that hard in the regular season, coast, and then do the same thing in the regular season. El Descaro is over. It was a great run. Shit fell in your way, and everything landed in place. The ducks all align, the stars align, whatever stupid saying you want to use. But that's just, your luck is done, bro. It's over. And I don't care about what he does with the coffee or with on a horse in a commercial or on Bad Boys. Bro, are you going to play basketball or what? You're not, and I don't have time for you. That's kind of that's kind of where I'm at with Jimmy Butler. You doing anything in the regular season? No? Okay, well then I'm good. I'm done with you then. That's kind of where I'm at with him. Do you see anything out there that Jake Paul stepped down? Because I don't see it.
No, the only thing that I see is there's a Yahoo article from 3 hours ago that says Jake Paul slammed for saying fight is still on despite Mike Tyson's health scare. So
okay.
I didn't see anything that went the other way on there. That was from Credible anyway.
Right. Credible. Credible is always the key word there.
Not saying Yahoo's always credible, but at least it's a reporting.
Yes. Something legit. So, yeah, there's nothing there, John Rouse. Lenny Pena says, I'm sick of Jimmy's BS. I wish we can trade him, but ain't nobody dumb enough to make that trade for him. We are stuck for the next 2 years. That's probably what I would say. I would say you are correct, sir. Angel Hernandez used to ump my games back in the 80s when I played college. He used to ump games to get experience and extra money while he was moving up in the minors. All right, he's still a piece of crap, and I'm glad that he's out of the game because that guy was a cancer for baseball. That's all I can tell you. Alexis, thank you, sir. Appreciate you for the love on Venmo. He says, thank you for the insight on everything. I appreciate you, man. We try to give you a little insight here and there on all kinds of things. Even make you a little money if we can make you a little money. And just like that, gentlemen, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And by the way, we have gone back over 68,000. So just over 68,000. There we go. All right. What else do we have going on in the world of sports? By the way, the Caitlin Clark stuff is so petty, dude, in the WNBA. It's funny how we build them up only to tear them down. And, you know, poor Caitlin Clark gets drafted into a terrible team because that's usually what happens when you're the top pick. And so she's obviously struggling, and they're not winning a lot. I think they just won over the weekend for their first game. And she hasn't played well because obviously she's a target. And she's taking some hard fouls and all that. I watched some of them, but the Angel Reese stuff and others, that girl has done nothing to nobody. She doesn't say a bad thing ever about Angel Reese, and yet Angel Reese just goes out of her way. And, you know, I've talked about this a lot, that I'm a karma guy. And so Angel is out there taking shots last week at Caitlin. And over the weekend, Alyssa Thomas clotheslined her ass and took her down to the ground. And to Angel's credit, she's tough. She got back up. She stayed in the game. They threw Thomas out because she basically body slammed her ass. But for me, I was like, that's karma for you being such an asshole with Caitlin Clark. I don't understand the hate on Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is not the one that says me, me, me. She's all about whatever team she's on. She doesn't show up anybody. You know what I mean? She doesn't talk shit about anybody. And yet so many are going after her because she's helped bring more attention to the league. So I don't get this. Somebody that's actually helping lift your league, you want to bring her down? I mean, those are some petty ass bitches in the WNBA. Petty ass bitches in the WNBA. You should be grateful, not a petty ass bitch. I'm not telling you to, you know, put her on a throne or anything, but the woman has done nothing to nobody except play basketball and bring more attention to your league. Embrace it. And Angel Reese, how about getting just, you know, just a slice of class? Jesus, man. Do you have to act like such a lowlife all the time with the girl? It's really amazing to me. Wow. Anyway. It's crazy stuff. I know I don't understand it. It's the weirdest thing. You know? What else do we have going on? Oh man. How about let's get to a little music history. On this date in 1976, Greg Allman testified against the Allman Brothers road manager Scooter Herring in a deal to avoid drug charges after a drug trafficking sting. It caused tension in the band, which would wind up taking 2 years off before reforming. In 1983, the US Festival kicked off in California. Over the course of 4 days, fans saw performances of U2, Motley Crue, Judas Priest, The Clash, David Bowie, Ozzy Osbourne, Van Halen, Men at Work, and more. Over 750,000 people attended the event, except for Orlando Alzagari, who was incredibly pissed off in Hialeah because his dad would not let him go at 17 years old. Dad, why'd you have to try to be responsible? What? You know, rest in peace, Dad. But, you know, you could have been really irresponsible that day and say, you're 17. You want to go clear across the country with your friends? What could go wrong? Go ahead. Why didn't you do that? Nothing would have gone wrong. Everything would have been just fine at the US Festival. Trust me. Come on, Dad. That was my Woodstock. I needed my Woodstock. You didn't give me my Woodstock. I seriously live with that regret my entire life. I am not lying to you. It is a regret that I live with, and I will never let it go. I've watched the videos of the US Festival performances and all of them over a bunch of times. I was supposed to be there, bro. I was supposed to be. Anybody got a time machine? Anybody got a hot tub time machine out there to spare? Seriously. I need a hot tub time machine. I want to get back to Woodstock, the US Festival, and Live Aid. And Monterey. Got to go to Monterey. That's all I'm asking. Hot tub time machine, 4 specific concerts, and I'll leave you alone. As traffic would say, light me up or leave me alone. In 2004, the Vines bassist Patrick Matthews walked out of the band halfway through the middle of their first song during a gig in Sydney, Australia. Matthews was angry with singer Chris Nichols for calling the crowd sheep and shouting at them in frustration, asking them to stop talking during their music. Matthews never returned to the group. In 1977, Sting, Stuart Copeland, and Andy Summers of the Police played together for the first time when they performed part of Mike Howlett's band, Strodium 90, in Paris, France. In 1995, Hootie and the Blowfish started a 4-week run at #1 on the album charts with Cracked Rear View. In 1988, Aerosmith singer Steven Tyler married his second wife, Teresa Barrick, in her hometown of Tulsa, Oklahoma. They divorced in 2005. And that's what happened today in music history. Let's go with musicians born on this date. Let's see. Kylie Minogue, I think is how it's pronounced. I'm not exactly sure. Australian-born singer, songwriter, and actress. She was born on this date in 1968. She has sold more than 70 million records. Gavin Harrison, English drummer and percussionist, best known for playing with the British progressive rock band Porcupine Tree and King Crimson. Roland Gift, born on this date in 1962, British singer with the Fine Young Cannibals. She drives me crazy, ooh, ooh, like no one else. Ooh, ooh. I actually like Johnny. I like that one. Johnny Come Home. Let's see. Steve Strange, Welsh singer from Visage, Fade to Gray, 1959, born on this date. Wendy O. Williams, rest in peace, crazy bitch. She was born on this date in 1949, lead singer for the New York punk band The Plasmatics. I saw Wendy O. Williams in concert one time. She opened up for Kiss. It was the Creatures of the Night tour. We were at the Palm Beach Auditorium, whatever the hell it's called, that round one. That the, I want to say the Jehovah Witnesses or somebody like that bought it over. Let me tell you something. That arena off of Palmetto Park Road in 95, if I remember correctly, that was one of my favorite places to go for a concert. That was actually a cool little arena. And so we saw Creatures of the Night there. And Wendy O came out to open up. And she was, a radical punk woman, half naked, always on stage. She had a great pair of cans. I will give her that. She did have a solid pair of cans, but crazy. And I knew we were in for an entertaining show when she stepped on stage and somebody threw a dildo from the crowd and hit her right on the chest. And she just rocked out to it. So, yeah, that's Wendy O. Williams. Rest in peace. Crazy ass woman. John Fogerty, born in 1945 on this date from Creedence Clearwater Revival. Also has had an incredibly successful solo career. Billy Vera, American singer-songwriter. Yeah, baby. At this moment. That was the one song. And by the way, he also was part of the song for Family Ties. Gladys Knight was born on this date in 1944 when you're off the midnight train to Georgia. Tony Mansfield from Billy J. Kramer and the Dakotas, born on this date in 1943. Let's see, T-Bone Walker, American blues guitarist, singer, songwriter, and instrumentalist. T-Bone Walker was a pioneer, innovator of the jump blues and electric blues sound. We lost him at the age of 64 back in 1975. Those are some of the famous musicians born on this date. Let's go with everybody else that we can find born on this date. Let's see. Seth Rollins, wrestler. Do I get a thumbs up? There we go. He is a big-time wrestler. 38 years old. Happy birthday to him. Let's see. Jerry West was born on this date in is 86 years old. Oh, God. Rudy Giuliani is 80 today. Michael Orr is 38. And that's about it. Crazy Giuliani. All right. What do you got? Any wrestlers that I did not mention?
Yeah, on top of the Seth Rollins, Kamala was born on today. Chaz, one of the headbangers, was born today, and Joseph Connors was with NXT UK. Not as well known, but today was his born day. And
all right,
people celebrating birthdays.
I like it. And also, how were my predictions over the weekend on WWE? What happened?
You made some picks.
Well,
you're known to be okay on your picks.
Did I win any of my picks?
We gave you 3 picks.
Okay. Did I win
Out
any?
of those 3 picks, all winners.
Really? Wow.
Yes. Swerve retained his title. Liv Morgan won the championship. And the Elite beat Team AEW, even though one of the guys got set on fire.
Well, that's a fire. See, John Wayne's 45. We give you crypto and wrestling picks here on this show. Don't mess with us, bro. You can never mess with the wrestling knowledge that I bring to the table. There is nobody that brings the kind of wrestling knowledge that I bring to the table. By the way, speaking of entertainment, did you guys see what's going on with J-Lo? So J-Lo was recently in talks for a $90 million Las Vegas residency, but the blockbuster deal now looks shaky at best now that her new album and upcoming concert tour are flopping. The embattled pop diva, whose headline-grabbing marriage to Ben Affleck reportedly is crumbling, recently has been in talks with MGM on a guaranteed $1 million a show for 90 dates starting next year. But casino executives have lately grown skittish over abysmal ticket sales for her first tour in 5 years following the release of This Is Me, now the album in February, with poor demand having forced the cancellation of 7 shows this summer. Apparently she's charging through the ass for tickets. No Vegas deal has been announced, despite a report from the Mirror that the MGM had teamed up with Live Nation to offer more than $800,000 a show. Rival casino Resorts World upped it to $875 in partnership with Schultz Entertainment Group, AEG. Then MGM and Live Nation swooped in with a $1 million offer for the Let's Get Loud singer. MGM is watching her not do well on the road. They are very nervous, the person said, It's pretty rare you have a poor tour than go to Vegas. No, she can't stay married, dude. It's amazing, right? You're that hot and you can't stay married. Oh, by the way, I saw her movie Atlas. It was all right. It was entertaining. You know what? I'll say that I didn't watch her love movie because I have no fucking interest to watch that crap. But I will say this. I enjoy her as an actress. You know what I mean? I don't have a problem with her as an actress, actually. Her movies aren't terrible. They're all right. But her music, it ain't shit. I've never really gotten into any. I never understood the J-Lo craze. I know she's beautiful. She's fine, all that shit. And I'm sure it's an entertaining show if you like that stuff. But I'm pretty consistent. Do me a favor, Sean. I got to blow my nose. Give me 30 seconds, please.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Miles an hour, that's a Category 4 hurricane. 3 deaths are reported in Florida after more than 24 were killed in the Caribbean. This.
There you go. All right. There you go. Call our friends, Cutter's Edge Pro. It is hurricane season. Told you I only needed a couple seconds. That wasn't going to take forever. By the way, I see you have the Toyota thing going on. Do you see what Toyota's doing? I've been saying this for a while. They're up to something in Toyota. And people are not paying attention and they don't watch what's going on. Have you noticed that Toyota is the only car company that really is not doing electric cars? They do hybrids. They've been doing hybrids. They were one of the first with hybrids. I had a Camry hybrid, Jesus Christ, over 10 years ago, I want to say. I had one of the first Camry hybrids that ever came out. It was easily over 10 years ago. Actually, now that I think about it, might have been like 15 years ago. But anyway, so they've been doing the hybrids for a while. But they also have this whole thing, and they've been doing what's that called? Oh God, now I'm brain farting. Oh God, let me read it here so I don't even know how I forgot about this. Anyway, the Japanese automaker Toyota introduced plans to cast a futuristic spin on the internal combustional engine. During a 3-hour presentation at Tokyo Hall Tuesday, the car manufacturer giant announced it would offer lean, compact engines that also run on the so-called green fuels, hydrogen, there it is, and biomethanol, or get paired with zero-emission electric motors in hybrids. This comes as many competitors in the auto industry are pushing for fully electronic vehicles. China is reviving its push for battery electric vehicles, and its own BYD is threatening to outshine Tesla in that push. Toyota chief executive Koji Sato said the engine is optimized for electrification era with the hopes of helping push the world into carbon neutrality. Toyota already has a well-known hybrid car, the Prius, with a gas engine and electric motor. It switches between the two to deliver a cleaner drive. In future hybrids, the electric motor is set to become the main driving power, and the new engine will take a lesser role, helping it along with Toyota. Domestic allies Subaru and Mazda both are preparing ecological engines designed to meet the inevitable upcoming stringent emission standards. Join Toyota's presentation billed as multi-pathway workshop. And so this whole thing that they keep doing with hydrogen, and they've been at this now for a while. No one else is doing it. Okay. And Toyota is the most powerful car dealer in the world, period. End of story. Okay? And the fact that they do not go completely into electric tells me that, and they keep working on this hydrogen stuff, okay? Because they feel like in the end that that's going to be the better way. And they're the only company doing this. And that must tell me that behind the scenes, they must be making some kind of advancement that nobody else is making. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, but it's something to keep an eye on. Because as a guy that's been wanting to get an electric car, I'm almost now, I have my trepidations now because I'm almost like, well, maybe I'll just hang on my gas car for now and wait for Toyota to drop the bomb, the hydrogen bomb. Because they're working on something, dude. I'm telling you, I've been following this for a while. And I've been talking about this, but I don't talk about it on the show because, you know, this is off the beaten path, you know, like when we talk about money and stuff and investing and all that. It's a little bit off the beaten path. Well, our show is like that. We're not stuck on one sport, or we're just not stuck on sports. You know, we'll talk music and entertainment, and we'll talk politics, and we'll talk money, and we'll talk cars, and we'll talk whatever, bro. I don't care. You know what I mean? So it's interesting, man. Really interesting. They're gonna kill it, bro. They're doing something. I don't know what it is because I certainly don't have insight, but I have followed it long enough that their conviction is some serious stuff, and they refuse to go all electric, and they are killing it with their hybrids, but they are also working on that hydrogen behind the scenes, and they've been working on it for several years. It just tells me that something's going to happen. And by the way, if they hit it, it's going to be a lot better for us than creating those batteries. Because that's also a problem too, you know. Anyway, happy birthday to the greatest American athlete of all time, Jim Thorpe. Gordon Shumway, a rookie is always going to get a welcome to the pros moment, but the stuff Clark is getting is ridiculous. It's like a pretty girl goes to a party and suddenly a bunch of girls hate the attention. Yeah, exactly. Wow, the Vines, I remember them. There you go, the Drew. Good for you, buddy. We go everywhere, bro. Eddie Vento says Panthers need to get the Rangers goalie off balance. Can't have another Patrick Waugh episode. Well, Eddie Vento is a little different. Our offense is way better than the Panthers of the mid-90s. So Patrick Waugh's job was a lot easier than this one. You just got to give the Bruins and the Rangers goalie a lot of credit. Those two guys were red hot, and the Panthers are just a great team. They just gotta solve the combination, bro. That's all. Get it done. J-Lo is reaping what she sows, said Lenny. From all accounts, she's a horrible human being. Well, Lenny, dude, she can't be cool behind the scenes. There's no way you have that many men go through your life. You've got to be a royal pain in the ass, dude. So, you know, it's that old saying, show me a fine woman and I'll show you a guy that's tired of banging her. That's what everybody will tell you about the fine woman. That in the end, it's still a woman. She might be fine and all, but if she's a jerk, eventually you're going to get tired of banging that. You know? Doesn't matter how fine she is. If she is, anybody that's married to a jerk, you know it. Once she becomes or he becomes a jerk, doesn't matter what they look like. Doesn't matter how much money they make. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't matter how good she is in bed. Doesn't matter how good he is in bed. Doesn't matter whatever physical traits he or she has. None of it matters. You know, once you're an asshole, it's just I'm dumping you. I'm moving on. And so obviously J-Lo must be impossible to deal with behind the scenes. You can't have that many men and you're not the problem. You can't have that many women and you're not the problem. It's all the same. Any man or woman that you've seen been married a whole bunch of times, very rare do they have that much bad luck. It could happen. Don't get me wrong. It could happen. Somebody could be unlucky at love. I think we might all run into a person or two that, damn, dude, you always run into that jerk or that idiot or whatever. I'm sure it can happen, but most of these people that are divorced several times over, come on, man. Come on. So, yeah. Jennifer Lopez has changed her nickname to J-Lo. Low ticket sales. There are only a few franchises that have more rings than J-Lo. I still got my 2012 Camry Hybrid. I'm not surprised. Toyotas are incredible cars, dude. Incredible. Toyota believes in drill, baby, drill. No, but no, this hydrogen thing, Rosendo, they're going to shock the world, bro. They're doing something. Something's, I'm telling you, I put it to my nosy and it smells rosy. Not, Mad Dog, you say, I put it to my nosy and it don't smell so rosy. This smells rosy to me because it's Toyota. They're just badasses. And they figure shit out. So, Captain Saki is in from Boca Grande. Most car companies outside of Toyota are forcing lots of gas-driven cars out the door and making the consumer to choose only EVs. Well, that's the Biden thing. And, look, man, I don't mind getting an electric car, but don't force it on people. And then the worst thing you do is you put tariffs out, and China's making some really cheap EVs, and we don't get them. There's a company that's kicking Tesla's ass. I forgot the name of it. Maybe one of you can search for it and tell me. I forgot the name of it right now off the top of my head. But there's a company in China that is kicking Tesla's ass and kicking Tesla's ass in Europe now. They're starting to and why? They have way more affordable cars. And people are buying those, and we don't get that car that's $18,000, $20,000, $22,000, $23,000. That one of these, I forgot the name of the Neo. I think it is Neo. I think you're right. I think it is Neo. And why? Because you're putting these tariffs, and then Trump wants to do the same thing. That doesn't do anything. That hurts us. Capitalism is supposed to be for all of us. Okay? Capitalism is for everybody. And we're all supposed to benefit from it. So if somebody in Indonesia is making a better car, then sell it and the rest of us can buy it. And if they're making it cheaper, then, hey, that's your problem, America. You make it cheaper. But no, let's put tariffs on it. Let's block these cars from coming in or make the consumer pay way more than they should by taxing them like crazy and force them to buy our more expensive Teslas or American EVs. That's bullshit, dude. And they both do it, Trump and Biden. They both are going to use tariffs against other countries. And it's why? Why do you do that? Why don't you get better? That's how you answer. You can't do that. That stuff doesn't help us. And then you're forcing EVs. Biden wants to force the EVs on us when you don't have the infrastructure. Look, man, the politics stuff, I don't care about either side. I've said it already. But what I would have done when I would have taken over, if I would have won the election in 2020, I would have opened up even more oil, is what I would have done. I would have gone the other way. Because Russia, Europe's not buying from Russia. Now, I would then find a way to produce as much oil so I can sell to Europe. And then with the profits from the oil is how I build my green highway. Instead of taxing people and running up more printing more money and putting us more in debt because you're creating all these programs and you got to print the money in order to pay for them. Instead, you could have just pumped more oil, create more jobs, then produce more money and use that money and profits to build everything. And guess what? You're not even affecting the public because the world is paying for our infrastructure. But we're stupid people here. That's what we do in this country. We're stupid people. So instead, we will go the other way, and Trump and Biden will then put tariffs on everybody else and all that other stuff and try to keep it here. But the problem is we don't make everything here, and we don't make everything here cheap. And if others are making it cheaper, it's better for our living. It's the way it is. But that's what capitalism is. Well, find a way to compete, but don't do it in a way where you're hurting us, because that's all they ever do is want to hurt us. So whatever, man. It's just it's a disaster. What can I tell you? There's never any common sense in anything that we do. Nothing whatsoever. So Toyota has an all-electric car. It's a crossover SUV called but it's a hybrid. It's not a full electric car. I'm pretty sure of that. I think it's all hybrid. Toyota doesn't have a full electric car, I believe. I'm pretty sure of that. It is half and half is probably what it is, or maybe slightly more electric than gas. That could be also, but it's going to have both. If you want to be happy for the rest of your life, never make a pretty woman your wife. No, that's not true. You either get lucky that you find somebody good or somebody that's not. That's all. The looks have nothing to do with it. There's plenty of good-looking women that are great people, okay? Because my wife is a good-looking woman, and she is an absolutely fantastic person. So I don't know. I don't look at it that way. The US Festival, wasn't that Steve Wozniak? Yes, it was, sir. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. It has to be paying under the Biden. Nah. I don't think so. I just think it's just stupid decisions they make. That's all it is. Stupid decisions that they make. It's pretty simple. They make them all the time. So it's all they ever do is they're out to hurt us, never really to help us. Remember Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Bitcoin, by the way, right at $68,000. Remember, our merch department is open. Check it out. 3A Graphics. By the way, you can hire them for your company too. This is, where is it? Oh, right there. There you go. There you go. How about that? And Johnny, by the way, great job designing the stuff. Hopefully we're getting more merch this week that we'll be able to mail out, because this is the 305 shirt. This was the Dolphin one. We have them in heat colors and colors, FIU, FAU, Panthers. They're all the different combinations depending on which is your favorite one. And then this is the other blind ass fan alert shirt. And by the way, John does an excellent job of designing it. John Rigoni. And by the way, if you need someone to help design for your company, logos, anything you need created, he can do all of that kind of stuff. So John is an absolute stud. Teamwork, baby, teamwork. So please go to our merch page. The link is here on the YouTube page. You can find it on our Twitter page and everywhere else. Instagram, all of it. It's all there. And it's Big O Radio Show. There's the QR code, bigoradioshow.myshopify.com. Let's see, what else do we have here? J-Lo has to be a headache behind the scenes. It's funny, by all accounts, Ben Affleck's supposed to be a really good guy. Well, he's had his share of marriages too and divorces, right? So I don't know. He's a good guy, but wasn't he banging his nanny behind Jennifer Garner's back or something like that, right? Wasn't that the story? So, I'm sure Ben has his issues too, but clearly she must be a load and a half. You know what I'm saying? Big O, I know you don't want to talk Marlins, but it's a slow sports schedule and they've been playing. Oscar, I don't give a shit. They don't exist anymore. So who gives a shit that they're playing well? Who cares? So what does that mean? That is somebody playing well in this stretch that they can trade now? I don't do the fair weathered bullshit, dude. I'm done with them. I see, Oscar, you're new to this show. I banned the Marlins for like 3 years. Maybe even longer it was. I don't need to talk about the Marlins. They're not, and we didn't even have Inter in those days. I didn't even have a summer team in those days. So I have gone years without talking about them. And guess what I'm about to do now again? I will go years now without talking about them. Again, you will never hear me talk about Marlins at all. You'll hear me here that when somebody brings it up, I'll tell them, no, I'm not going to talk about it. I have no interest in talking about the Marlins. I have no interest in watching the Marlins. I have no interest in caring about the Marlins. They don't matter at all to me. That's all. So if you want to be the sucker and you want to keep following a team that has no commitment whatsoever, never keeps their players, keeps selling their players, they don't care about winning, then you go ahead and waste your time, my brother. You be the sucker. I'm done. I'm not talking about them ever again. I don't care about what game they play. I don't care what they win. I don't care if they lose 30 in a row. I don't care if they win 30 in a row. They don't exist anymore for me. They don't matter at all. They don't want to matter. They don't care about mattering. So why am I going to do it? But I get it, man. Some of you out there, you're constant suckers. You're the guy, Oscar, that would be married to the woman that cheats on you over and over again, and you keep giving her chances. The Marlins make J-Lo look like she's an angel. I'm tired, bro. I'm tired. I'm done. Sell the team, and then maybe we can talk. Bring me a new owner. But if you're ever tuning in here to ever hear like a Marlins breakdown or talking about the game again or having a beat writer or something like that, brother, this is the wrong show. The wrong show. Okay? Wrong show. I will not be talking about anything that they do on the field ever again. I'm done. So unless they sell the team or make a real commitment to winning, to actually like buying and put a bunch of players together and all that and spend $140, $170 million on a payroll, okay, then maybe we'll talk. Maybe we could start talking Marlins again, and we'll entertain Marlins. But Oscar, my brother, don't bother. Don't bother, because I have no interest. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I know my boy Andy, I haven't heard him in a long time, but whenever I would get in the car and once in a while I would run into Slater, He spends his time talking about baseball all the fucking time. That's probably why he has like 10 people listening. So he does a great job breaking news. But boy, his sports talk is, and I don't know if he still does a lot of baseball talk, but that might be the guy you want to listen to. You know, him. You listen to Andy and 3 other people that want to hear about baseball. So you know that maybe that might be where you want to go. But you won't get any more. No Marlins talk here. You'll get Marlins hate from here on out. Is what you're going to get. Pure Marlins hate. Pure Bruce Sherman hate is what you're going to get from here on out. That's all you're going to get here. So just to kind of make sure you know where we're coming from, you will get no Marlins here ever again. We won't mention it on the 3A Graphics sports calendar. We won't care if they win. We won't care if they lose. We don't care if they trade. We don't care that they exist. Okay? When Bruce Sherman sells the team, then maybe we can talk again. Till then, fuck you, Marlins. Let's go. Ethan Hawke left Uma Thurman and married a former nanny a few years later. There you go. That's what we want. Evil Sherman to sell. Only want one owner, Jorge Mas. Had to make a call. I'm guessing someone asked about the Marlins, the way O is going in. Yeah, because they don't understand. Let's see. If you got hate in your head, in your heart, let it out. That's right. Let it out. I hate Bruce Sherman and the Marlins. Big O, since all the sports fans, which is your favorite Jordan NBA Finals? I would say the first one because he got over the hump. It's like watching Zoe win. That was a lot of fun. I was in the locker room in the Mavs. I was in Dallas when they won the championship. And it was the coolest thing to see Alonzo Mourning win that title and hug that trophy and cry. And because, you know, he had given so much. He had the kidney ailment. He had the kidney replaced. He had to come back. He had to deal with the idiots and with the Nets that, you know, were assholes. He went through all kinds of shit, dude. You know, and he played his ass off that year. He was the most important center in the finals against the Mavs. It wasn't Shaq. It was him. Go look at it defensively. Defensively, that was the key center in that game. It was Zoe. It wasn't Shaq. It's crazy, man. Again, Sean, 30 seconds, man. I don't know why. I got a little bit of stuffiness. 30 seconds, please.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
All right. Gus says he tweeted me specs on the car. Let's see. Providing you what you need, your drive and more. BZXE, the platform structure provides a solid foundation for a powerful electric motor and delivers most instantaneous torque. Oh, 100% electric. It is. Is this from the Toyota site? Yes, it is. Okay. All right. I haven't seen this one. Let me see. Oh, yeah. So this is the full electric one. This is the one that's right in front of us where we broadcast, actually, Sean. This is the one that we were looking at going, what the hell is that? So I guess this is the electric one. I don't know if you can see it. But Here, I'll send it to you. You got it there, Sean. Wasp is touring, my friend is showing me. I have no interest in seeing Wasp. But they will be in Florida, in Orlando, November 24th. So if any of you crazy mofos want to see Wasp, and special guest will be Death Angel and Unto Others. So there you go. If you're into that thrash metal type shit, you'll be able to check that out. None for me, thanks. All right, what else do we have going on? Do we have anything? Have you seen anything on the Dolphins side? Anything tweeted out? Any silliness tweeted out? Anything of substance, Sean? Let's see. Oh,
we have this.
What do we have?
Looks like Mike McDaniel reveals Tua has improved his arm strength by working with QB coach John Beck this offseason.
Really? Okay.
He said, without thinking, has probably generated a little more force on some throws he's trying to drive.
Okay. Yeah, McDaniel says Tua is driving the ball with more force on some throws that he's internally trying to put some more velocity on. Effortless is the word that keeps coming up with the discussion. McDaniel says Tua is doing things he's done in the past, but it looks more effortless now with regards of throwing and growth in year 3. On why Tua shed some weight, his program last year was strength, him getting stronger, and the unintended consequence of how he saw his game, his strength increased, but he felt he he felt he could have had the same amount of strength and reshape his body and be a little lighter on his feet. McD says Devon Achane felt that there was more out there for him with the opportunities he had last year, and having a full offseason practicing football with the Dolphins should afford him that opportunity to understand. That's why he's created more opportunities to get the ball. Let's see. And on what the team has produced in OTAs, we've had a tremendous offseason of growth in our schematics and fundamentals because guys have taken advantage of opportunities. So, let's see. On how Tua can grow in year 3, you have 2 years under your belt together where you have seen his game progress. Year 3, we really got to take a step back and assess not just the things he liked, but what are some of the things he hasn't looked comfortable with in the past. That way we could get him to some comfort level, our connectivity with how he sees things and what we're trying to do with each assignment that can always get cleaner, and it has. Saw growth and development last week with specific things we're asking him to do. And McDaniel says he feels there's no reason Tua can't make similar strides from year 2 to year 3 as he did from year 1 to year 2. So listen, again, none of this is anything shocking or surprising, but I will tell you what this is. It's great news. That's the way you got to look at it. Why? Because he is doing whatever it takes to be better. And as you go along in life, we all live and learn, right? And we live and learn on how to do things the right way, the wrong way. We live and learn how to do something better and all those kind of things. And so he is now figuring this out because from, college to the NFL, it's a hell of a jump. And it took Drew Brees several years to kind of figure it out. It took Rich Gannon like 9 years to figure it out. Right? Sometimes that's kind of the way it is. And Tua is way ahead of Brees and Rich Gannon and some other guys because he's had success, but it's obviously you want to keep building on that success and having more success. Part of it. I mean, he's been in the MVP conversation the last 2 years. Drew Brees was not in that MVP conversation the first couple of years of his existence. Kurt Warner, was cut several times, had to go to an area league before he finally, found his way. This happens all the time. Trevor Lawrence is still trying to figure things out. This past year, the kid in Philadelphia, what's his name, took like a step back. He was the poster child for everybody. He was the darling, and then Hurts took a couple steps back this year. This league will humble you. This league will also test how good you really are, and so in the process, you're going to have to learn. You're going to go look at Terry Bradshaw's start of his career. It doesn't matter. This happens all the time in football. There are some guys that make a quick transition. There are some guys that it takes them a little bit, and there are some guys it takes them forever. The problem that we have here is we are stuck in a situation where you haven't seen one in so long that you overlook the progress that the one you currently have is making. How many quarterbacks, how many young quarterbacks around the league can fans say, well, my guy's been in the MVP conversation the last 2 years? Very few. But people overlook that. Oh, Tua's got to win the playoffs. He's been in the playoffs one time, dude. One time in the worst situations. And all I constantly hear is comparisons to Lamar Jackson. The guy he's beaten more than Jackson's beaten him the last 3 years. The guy that has a losing record in the playoffs. I wonder if Tua was 2-4 in the playoffs, 6 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, and 57% completion percentage in six games in the playoffs, 2-4. I wonder how they would Tua's only been in the playoffs one time. That's it. One time. He's helped get his team to the playoffs 2 years in a row. Because without Tua, you're not in the playoffs. But he's physically only been in the playoffs one time in the worst case scenario. And they make it sound like he's been going to the playoffs for years and failing for years. It's just one of those things where I just think so many of you don't really understand what you have. And then at the same time, you don't appreciate what you have. So I am incredibly happy that this young man does what it takes to get better every single day, every single week, every single month, every single year, every single game. That's why I have zero doubts that this guy is going to be a great quarterback for a long time to come. And eventually he will be embraced by everybody and appreciated by everybody. But it's going to take a little bit because some of you out there are, I don't know. I'm going to go J-Lo. Difficult. That's what I'll say. Some of you out there are just difficult. By the way, no one won the Powerball, okay? Powerball will be worth an estimated $143 million. 0 players matched all 6 numbers of the $131 million drawing on Monday night. 9, 30, 39, 49, 59. 9, 30, then 39, 49, 59. That's a lot of 9s. Powerball was 21. So get ready. Play yourself some Powerball. All right. Big O, did you hear about the documentary about the Clippers showing on Hulu? Lawrence Fishburne as Doc Rivers? No, I have not. Why would anybody want to see that? Why do I care about the Clippers? Why would a documentary about the Clippers? Is it like about the owner? Is it something about the the owner's gross ways or something? Is that what it is? Because the Clippers story is garbage. There's nothing about the Clippers that I care about. They're still wannabes. I'm not sure. I don't know why anybody would make a Clippers story. I don't get it. I get it if they're making it about the owner and what kind of a scumbag he was, and they want to tell the story and all that kind of stuff. What was that scumbag's name? Is he even still alive? Because he was old. The Drew says, I was wondering why he doesn't talk Marlins baseball. I guess I now know. Yes. Oh, we are wearing our Big O shirts here in St. Augustine. Thank you. Turning more people onto the show. Thank you very much. That helps, man. The shirts, people will see it, and I'll run into people every once in a while that'll be like, "Hey, man, I miss you. I miss you on QAM." Yeah, sometimes I notice when somebody's old like me, I kind of get it because they're not very technically sound, so they don't know about YouTube and shit like that, and podcasting and stuff. But yeah, people will find out and really, you're doing it. Really, you've been on. Yeah, dude, we're on every day. Really? Okay. So, Big O, what is your show email? I've got a couple of vids I'd like to send. Big O Radio Show. Big O Radio Show is practically everything. Big O, except for Twitter. Everything else is Big O Radio Show at yahoo.com. Okay? Big O Radio Show. Just like Big O Radio Show .myshopify.com. So Instagram is Big O Radio Show. We try to make everything Big O Radio Shows to kind of make it easy to find. So Big O Radio Show at yahoo.com. Working 10 hours today. Have to see the 49ers stadium. Can't wait till we beat them this season. That'll be fun. If Tua is so great, why does he get so much hate nationally? Brother, I can't explain, stupidity, Troy. You know what I mean? It's just kind of the way it is. I'll go with stupidity. As I've said many times, Troy, those of you that think that Tua can't play, I think you don't understand the quarterback position. It's pretty simple. That's all. I don't shy away, my brother. I've told you many times, I don't think you know what the fuck you're ever talking about most of the time. So, and I'm glad you listen all the time, but that's not going to, I'm not going to hold back just because you're a fan of the show or anything like that. You know what I mean? I'm pretty brutally honest about this. I think most of you that don't think Tua can't play, you don't know dick. That's all. It's pretty simple. You're fans, and you really don't understand the position of quarterback. Media, fans, whatever. I think there's a lot of people that don't know what the hell they're talking about. What do you think about that? You know what I'm saying? So that's exactly what's going on. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people, media and fans, that don't know what they're talking about. Yeah. It's look at the media itself is having their own dilemma. For the last couple of months, we heard, wow, did you see Jalen Phillips on that thing? Oh my God, he's making all this progress. Oh wait, Jalen Phillips now has a limp. Oh, well, maybe it's not so much well, what is it, bro? Which one is it? Because nobody gave you that information. Nobody said he was ahead of progress. Nobody said he's behind. They just say he's rehabbing. Media creates all kinds of shit on their own. Troy, we got people saying that they should sign Ryan Tannehill as a backup. You think I have any respect for anybody that says that? Do you think I think you know what you're talking about when you tell me that? No. So when Adam Beasley makes a stupid ass suggestion like that, do you think I have any respect whatsoever for Adam Beasley at that moment? By the way, he also thinks that Tua can't play. I think he comes out and says he's kind of wrong now or whatever, but it's like, yo, bro, I already know you know nothing. There, that's brutal. Not only do you not know anything, Troy, neither does Adam Beasley. Los cojones míos no lo tiene nadie. ¿Me entiendes? You got that? So I tell Adam Beasley to his face, like I'll tell you to your face, like I'll tell anybody else to their face. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. So that's kind of what's going on, Troy. We got a bunch of people that they might work in the media. That doesn't mean I think they know what the hell they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of them were like, oh, you got to sign Christian Wilkins. He's the heart and soul of the defense. Oh, they'll sign him. Yeah, sure they will. So that's kind of what's going on. A lot of people don't know what the hell they're talking about, including you, Troy Ortiz. Anyway, I agree. The local media loves to leave pieces of cheese lying around. I'm no rat, but I'm also not a sheep. Well, all you got to do is watch and pay attention to the coverage of Jalen Phillips and Chubb. Nobody's from the organization has given any timetable. The players haven't said anything like, oh, I'll be ready by June 1st. No, I'll be ready. No, they're all working hard. They're all trying. No timetable. But it's the media that would say, oh, it looks like they're ahead of the timetable. And now they're noticing a limp. And all of a sudden, their own timetables have been reshaped. Well, wait a minute, bro. That's not a good thing or a bad thing. That's your problem. Nobody gave you a timetable. Nobody ever said they were ready for week 1, but they're already creating their own drama from within. Come on, man. It's just the same bullshit that goes on all the time. That's all. Same bullshit. But it doesn't fly here. And I'm not going to allow it to fly here. So, and Troy, that's why we're right more than we're wrong, more than anyone else on the Dolphins beat. And it's not even close. Not even close. Not even close. There's no race here. I don't have anyone close in second. Not one beat writer, not one person on television. Please, radio, give me a break. So that's it. Not one of them. None of them. They're not even close. So something's going on, right? Big O, didn't you tell Adam Beasley at 2 was going to have an awesome year in 2022? Yeah, I told them that I told them that Tua would be a great quarterback. That's all. And he laughed at it, basically. You know what I mean? So that's cool. No problem. I got the smirks and all that inside the press room, but I said it in front of everybody. Very few even tried to challenge me, but, when I leave, they might try to challenge me. But then, you got to challenge me to my face. That's the difference. And then, I can let you have it. And then, I can put you in your place. But, that's kind of the way it goes. So, One-Eyed Jack says, I can't wait to get my Big O Bitcoin hat. Thank you. Thank you. Very nice of you for ordering and supporting us. Remember, our merch shop is open. Please support us. Let's see. Big O, I'm in a group chat and had these guys telling me that Tannehill should come back too. Yeah, because you have stupid media that either believes that stupid shit or throws clickbait crap, and then you have the silly ass fans that then follow the dumbass media, and they're not very smart because they don't think for themselves, and so then they follow up. Tannehill is a guy that doesn't have accuracy and ball placement. Like that, people don't realize how important that is in this quick strike offense. And you kind of take it for granted to his accuracy and ball placement. You think everybody else in the league has it, and I think what you're missing out is that 75, maybe 80% of the entire starting league can't do what Tua does. But whatever, man. You know, I can't, really tell you something that you don't comprehend or understand. You know, in the words of Eric Spoelstra, don't pay attention to the noise. Your blood pressure. Be careful. Yeah, I laugh at the noise nowadays. Big O, I've been stealing your takes for a few years now, so I might be catching up. DDW says, I would embrace Ryan Tannehill with arms wide open. Your thoughts? Dougley, if he said that, I think Dougley is completely out of his mind. So I wouldn't trust Ryan in this offense at all. He's too much of a scatterbrain. He can't make quick reads and decisions. It's not who he is. He doesn't fit this offense at all. He does not fit this offense. That's the problem that I think people don't understand. So I don't know. I didn't hear Doug say it, but I would disagree with Doug and everybody else that thinks that Ryan Tannehill, that's all clickbait. Let's bring an old name back, and it just becomes a talking point. And that's why people do it. Outside of that, there is no logic behind bringing Ryan Tannehill in this system. Okay. By the way, Bitcoin at a little dip here, 67,758. It is down 3.5%, which is a beautiful thing. I wonder if it's the Mt. Gox stuff that is making it dip a little bit. And remember, you can make a Bitcoin donation to the show. You know, we're friends forever when you do that, because, you know, those are my favorite donations to the show. Bitcoin donation, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. All right. Let's see. What is this? Healthcare company Semler Scientific buys 581 Bitcoin worth $40 million. Wow. That's a healthcare company using that as their treasury reserve. Smart. Jesus. Smart. Again, I don't care about Biden. I don't give a shit about Trump. I don't care about any of them. But credit to actually, Trump said that he mentioned apparently somebody he was talking to, now I forgot the name of it, but they were looking into buying Bitcoin for the U.S. Treasury. Like, how has that not been thought of already? It's just like, really? Like, how stupid are you people? Look, I thought Vivek, at first I liked what Vivek was talking about because he was just talking about money. Then he started with all his far right-wing just garbage that he came up with, and, you know, he lost me. But I will say this about Vivek. One thing that he did get right is that our reserves should be backed up by gold and by silver and by Bitcoin and, you know, copper and stuff like that. That's the stuff that you should be. That's where you should be moving your. Not a financial advisor, but that's where you should be moving your money. You shouldn't have your money in a bank. You shouldn't have your money in a savings account. You should have it in Bitcoin or in gold or in silver or in copper. You should have it in some kind, in oil and some kind of resource that is only going to grow instead of the dollar, which is only crumbling, that kind of stuff. And so that's exactly what we should do with our reserves. Go back to that. You can't go back to the gold standard because gold proved that it was a failure already as that's what gold is. Gold is a failed dollar. It's proven all over the world that you cannot use gold as the reserve because it just doesn't translate. That's why Bitcoin is the monster. They just moved $9 billion. No banks, no nothing. Just moved $9 billion bucks. You know how many you got to get banks involved if you got to move internationally money and days it takes and all kinds of red tape and all that. With Bitcoin, boom, on the blockchain within seconds. And it barely cost them anything to move it. That's the other thing. It's like there's no comparison. And I don't understand why we haven't, built up the reserves that way. It's crazy. Really is. What else do we have? Wait, did Tannehill get replaced by Levis as the starter last season? Just wondering. Yes, he did, sir. Welcome to 2024. I'm glad you're awake now and you got to see it and you understood what happened last year. That's strong on your part, sir. By the way, Walton Rayom, a proud sponsor of our program, 954-966-4646. Folks, let me tell you, we have hurricane season right around the corner, and we are not an advantage. Unfortunately, DeSantis put us at a disadvantage with the new insurance laws. The most important thing is having the right lawyers protect you. So please call Jeff Walt or Daniel Rayom. If you think you have a case, consultation's free. 954-966-4646. Bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury, Welt and Rayom. 954-966-4646. And please tell them that Big O sent you. They will definitely take care of you. All right, I don't see anything earth-shattering coming out of Dolphins camp, to be quite honest. We've got Panthers back in action tonight. They're favored by 1.5 goals, plus 154 on the money line for that one. Plus 154 for minus 1.5. Minus 170 on the money line. The Rangers are plus 142 on the money line. This is a must-win for the Panthers. This is the kind of game tonight where you need to wake up in the power play. Okay? I mean, you're facing an incredibly hot goaltender. So whenever you get these opportunities for a power play, which they have struggled to convert power plays, they are phenomenal at full strength. Okay? But the Rangers are dangerous in the power play. Hell, they're dangerous shorthand. I think they have 5 or 6 goals already shorthanded in these playoffs. But the Panthers have, as great as the Panthers are, their one weakness is they are not great on the power play. Tonight, and, the rest of this run, you got to find a way to be much better on the power play and make life easier for you, please. You need that desperately. And listen, you're going up against a great goaltender who is red hot. You have faced 2 goaltenders now in the last 2 rounds, this round and last round, that are better than yours. And Bob has played outstanding. I'm not going to sit here and blame Bob like we have in the past and all that. Bob is playing out of his freaking mind. But you've got a hell of a matchup right now with the Rangers. This is one of those where, man, you got to be sharp everywhere. And one of the things they must pick up is that damn power play, dude. Holy shit, they got to get better on the power play. Make them pay. You got the advantage. That's your advantage against this goalie. Use it to your advantage, please. Would be really, really nice. What do we got going on here? Let me see if I got any kind of earth-shattering news. Hey, Dead & Company added 6 shows in August for their Dead Forever Live at the Sphere residency. So if you're a Dead fan, Dead & Company, you can go check them out now. Okay? Love it. What else do we have going on? How about Bitcoin? Let me give you the latest. It is at 67,773. For us Jasmy folks, Jasmy is still working right at 256, so just a little over 2.5 cents. We've been talking about Jasmy since it was a third of a cent. So there you go. Ethereum is at 38.20, so down about a little over $100 from its peak over the weekend. Interesting dip, but I'm still going to stick to my guns that this week will be explosive to the upturn. I don't know why. Just get that feeling that we're going to have a sweet week here. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. All right, we are out of here. We thank Ira Winderman and Manny Navarro as always. We thank the man, the myth, the legend that is Sean Stanley, always mastering this program. We thank all of you that tuned in. Please visit our sponsors, visit our merch shop. The link is here on the YouTube page, also on Twitter, on Instagram. You can find the link for our merch department and our merch shop so you can support us. You can always make a donation anytime you're listening, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. We will see you all tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel.